Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me, your favorite astronaut Raine here. I gotcha, didn't I? You thought that this would be a Raine Dog video, didn't ya? Well, instead we're going to have this Rewrite the Stars compilation today. Why? Well, this is the first series ever on this channel, and a big part that led me to the point where we are right now. And of course, this is happening because I planned this and not because I'm procrastinating the living shit out of that Raine Dog video, I swear. Even if, though, this is a very special video because it really shows a lot of improvement of the overall quality of my videos, from the first to the most recent. As the video goes on, you can see that at the beginning I was very awkward while speaking, and as time passed by, I eventually started to loosen up, and that goes for everything, from my narration to my jokes. And I have to thank you guys for being part of this. Really, if it wasn't for you, I would probably be flipping burgers and putting fries in bags at the very trashy job. But you guys make the dream of living from the internet a closer thing to reality every day. So again, thank you all. You guys are awesome. And without dragging this any further, let's go to the compilation. The Divine Comedy is an Italian narrative poem written by Dante Alighieri, completed in 1321, and it is widely considered one of the greatest works of Western literature. The poem's imaginative vision of the afterlife is representative of the medieval worldview as it existed in the Western Church by the 14th century. What many people may not know is that Dante, the author, put himself to be the main protagonist of the story. The Divine Comedy presented a concept of hell that's still being depicted to this very day, divided in 7 rings, each one for each capital sin. On top of that, Dante put some real people with it, to which some of them are depicted suffering in hell, such as the Pope at the time, tax collectors, and people that he mainly didn't like. But what I'm trying to say is that considering all of what I just said, the famous book The Divine Comedy is one of the, or even the first one, fanfiction to go around outside its bubble and to be really famous, such as Twilight series or any other mediocre teen romance that ever existed. But why did they all blow up? Why did them get so much space despite being original work made for fans by fans? Well, the answer is quite simple. They have some really good writing and a good narrative. Well, some of them. In fact, it's awesome that people are able to make such interesting stories by themselves. And it's crazy to think that this came from another original work that inspired another original work. Today, we are here to see one of those well-written stories, a fan comic to be exact, with a good storytelling, an interesting narrative, and a nice art style. But unfortunately, it all gets spoiled because of a simple element. It's about incest. The story starts with a narration and a sight of the night sky. Lynn and Lincoln are talking about the past. Lynn's asking Lincoln if he ever wanted things
to be different between them.
To which he responds, saying that it would be great if they hadn't lost so much in the past. But still, he wouldn't change a single thing, for all they have been through shows that what they have is true and meaningful. The conversation then proceeds to them wondering when they started to have these feelings for each other. What was the starting point to all of it? But both of them can't think of a turning point to when it started. It's said that they have always been this way since the beginning. We then cut to 2009 at the Loud residence, and the narration continues with Lynn asking Lincoln if he remembers how things used to be in the past. She then says that things were a little bit different. A smaller house, a smaller family, but some things never change. She says it as we are introduced to them when they were little kids, playing tag in a bedroom. As they continue playing, Lincoln ends up falling face first into the ground and hurting his nose. Because, well, little kids I guess. Lynn gets understandably worried for her brother, who was the youngest at the time, and tries to comfort him. That stills until the other sisters arrive at the scene, claiming that they have heard a noise coming from the room and asking what happened. We then get presented to the younger versions of the older sisters in the show. They then start to give Lynn a lecture on the fact that Lincoln is crying. Apparently, this is not the first time that this happened between those two. So they accuse Lynn to be too rough during their time playing because Lincoln always ends up crying or hurt. And despite them being very close, she should be more careful with him. Lynn ends up being upset and runs away, pushing her two sisters away. Lincoln sees it and gets very upset as well, saying to his sisters that they were just playing tag and it wasn't necessary to say such things to Lynn because he can take care of himself just fine. Debatable. The sisters try to reason with Lincoln, saying that they're trying to protect him from getting hurt, to which Lincoln responds, saying that he isn't a baby and that he likes to play with Lynn. The sisters then begin to say lots of examples when Lincoln got hurt playing with Lynn, but he manages to clarify that this is not Lynn's fault somehow. He then says that he likes to play with Lynn because the other sisters never have time to play with him, for they are always busy doing their grown-up stuff, whatever that means. The oldest of them then say that they are sorry for neglecting him so much, but Lynn is simply too intense. Not only with him, but with anyone close to her. And they say those things to her so she doesn't push anyone away, because if she's not careful enough, she might end up on her own. A little while later, Lincoln found Lynn alone on the lawn and starts to tell her that the other girls didn't really meant to say all of that, and they were just worried. He then apologizes to her for crying, and he also says that he does like to play with her besides everything. But Lynn responds by saying that he shouldn't, for they were right about him always ending up hurt. Lincoln says that it's not her fault, but Lynn disagrees, saying that she is the big sister, and that she should be a role model and not hurt her little brother. She then says that he should stop playing with her and start playing with their other sisters, because they don't make him cry like she does. But Lincoln refuses the idea, saying that he can play with them and with Lynn as well, and that he doesn't care that he might get hurt. Being with her is worth the risk. Lynn disagrees and says that she couldn't bear if he ends up getting hurt so bad that he would actually hate her. Lincoln responds saying that he could never hate her, and she says that he can't know it for sure. Lincoln then says that they've been together forever and there's no way he would ever hate her. He then says that the others are worried about him, but he isn't a baby anymore and he knows what he wants, and also that he can take care of himself. Again, that's debatable. He then says that he loves being with her and that he doesn't care what other people say about it, even if it's their own sisters. Lyndon cries out that Lincoln is too nice and she doesn't deserve him. She keeps going, saying that she just wants to have fun, but it seems that everyone else gets hurt because of her. Lincoln interrupts her to say that yes, she's intense, but that's who she is, and he loves her for it. He ends this conversation by saying that she can't be too harsh on herself, that she can always work on her manners and maybe tone it down for everyone else, but she shouldn't change herself for him, because he already thinks she is pretty neat the way she is, and even if she ends up with no friends, she still has Lincoln. Then they hug each other, and we can see that Lynn is thinking to herself that Lincoln is right, and they will be always together no matter what, only for an hour to pass by and they receive the news that they cannot sleep in the same room from now on because of another baby sister and the twins that are about to come as well. Lynn even tries to say that twinning in a room should be good, but that's no use. The father says that Lincoln is a boy, so he's gonna need his own room at some point, which is true. They're just getting there sooner. Both brother and sister look very, very sad with that, even with the father explaining that they still live in the same house and having a little privacy is good. We then see Lincoln and Lynn saying goodbye to each other, since they're now moving rooms. Lynn even offers to Lincoln to bunk with her, whatever that even means. But Lincoln refuses, saying that he needs to get used to his new room and to the independence that comes with it. This boy be acting like he's going to live by himself. Bro, you're moving rooms. It's not that deep. Lynn then gives Lincoln a goodbye present, a plushie of a rabbit named Bum Bum, so he can pretend that it's her when he gets scared at night. We then see Lincoln going to his new room while the sisters mention that it's not a big deal and it was for the best. The next page shows Lynn venting to the baby, that's called Lucy, about how much she wanted to stay together with Lincoln in the same
bedroom.
but that's okay because she knows that they will see each other tomorrow as well, so nothing's really changing though. We then see that Lincoln is trying to stay positive for the new space he owns, and it lasts until night falls and a storm starts, to which Lincoln looks scared of, since he gets the plushie Bum Bum and hug him as hard as he can. It's late night now, and Lincoln is still afraid of the storm, so much that he is having trouble sleeping. That until Lynn enters his room to check on him, since she knows that he's afraid of storms. Lincoln tries to look like a macho, but it's cut short at the moment another thunder strikes again, making a lot of noise and making him weep like a little girl. Lynn teases him a little for losing his posture and then begins to get in his bed with him. Lincoln then says that their father wouldn't like that she isn't there, but she doesn't give a care in the world. Lincoln says that Dad says he's supposed to get used to being alone, since he won't always have Lynn around to help him, to which Lynn responds that he's wrong. She says that no one would ever get them apart from each other, not even their father or mother, and she finishes it saying that they know they will always have each other. The chapter ends with yet another narration of Lincoln and Lynn saying that they would never imagine themselves to be apart, and coming to the conclusion that their minds were already made. But now a question comes to them. When did they started to realize it? To which Lincoln responds that he remembers it very well, giving us a cliffhanger to the next chapter. Oh well, this is doing numbers, ain't it? The comic starts the same way as the previous chapter, narration and the night sky. Lincoln starts by saying that he will never forget when he discovered his feelings. Lynn completes describing that moment as magical and a little terrifying, to which Lincoln agrees, saying that it was hard to accept. Lynn then says that it was not only hard to accept, but also to realize it, saying that those feelings were always there, but she never really knew what they were. We then go through a montage of the next few years after the first comic, still with a narration that varies between the couple of siblings, talking about how they managed to stay very close even with their interests drifting apart. Going to the next page, Lynn ends the narration bit by saying that it took one incident for her to realize that she felt a little bit more about Lincoln, but she remembers it perfectly. We then cut to 2016 with Lane doing some kick-ups when the nerd emoji sister comes along saying a lot of nerdy terms. To keep it simple, she's saying that she has something to tell Lynn. Lynn says that she can't do it right now, for she's trying to beat her own record. The nerdy sister then says that she needs to say something regarding Lincoln. That catches Lynn's attention. I wonder why. And she asks what about him. The little nerdy sister then says that he appears to have some bullies at school, to which Lynn seems to take it well, judging by her face in this panel. If we take a closer look on what is being depicted on the background, we can see some kind of story of Lynn also being bullied in the past. For the record, I don't know if this is canon or not, but the fact that it is here, it's freaking funny for me. It remembers me of those sad fan arts of the Loud House. We officially have the two most strange sides of the same fandom here, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. Lynn gets visibly upset and demands a sister meeting right away. We then got a bit of narration of Lynn saying that she wasn't gonna let any punk do to her quote-unquote baby brother the same thing they did to her. We then get a scene where Lynn is busting the door open to confront Lincoln about his current situation. But from there, we get to a scene continuing the narration, telling that when they figured that his bully was a girl, they got excited, for they have talked about him getting a girlfriend in their previous sister meetings. And Lynn says that she was as happy as everyone else, or that's what she thought at first, because the moment she saw Lincoln walking outside towards the girl, she felt sad. And when he got smacked, every one of his sisters felt terrible for making him get hurt, except for Lynn. She said that she felt terrible not because he got hurt, but because she felt relief. Going to the next page, she ends the narration by saying that in that same night, she couldn't sleep, trying to figure out what was wrong with her. I can tell one thing or two, but we're gonna get there later. She also says that she wasn't the best with feelings stuff, but she had the best help one could ever get, her emo sister Lucy. And she begins a conversation by saying that Lynn is usually snoring by that time at night and asking what is disturbing her. Lynn responds saying that she is just thinking about today. How crazy it was the fact that Lincoln almost got a girlfriend, and she asks Lucy how she felt about it, to which Lucy responds by saying that she felt guilty. Lynn assumed that she didn't want him to be with her either, but Lucy says that this wasn't the case. She felt guilty for seeing Lincoln get punched and enjoying it for a minute. Lucy interrogates Lynn about what she meant with either and if she didn't like her, to which Lynn responds by saying that she punched her brother, so of course she doesn't like that girl. Lucy asks why she would feel guilty about it, but Lynn says that she doesn't know and asks to be left alone. Lucy agrees, but says that suppressing her problems don't solve a thing. Lynn confesses that she wasn't really happy for Lincoln growing up as she should have. She says that she tried to be supportive, but she never really wanted him ending up with her. She then asks why she would want that, and if she is the worst big sister ever. Lucy then explains that it's just natural that she would be cautious with every girl that lays eyes on their brother. She completes it by saying that he already has her for a tough girl that can throw a punch. Narration Lynn comments that he already has you made her heart feel numb, and Lucy says that this was just a joke. She then proceeds to say that Lynn is the closest to Lincoln, and that's nothing wrong with being jealous. But that doesn't mean that she is a bad sister. It just means that she cares about him just like he cares about her. Lucy ends her speech saying that no matter what, she will always be part of his life, and no girl is ever gonna take that away from her. Now, present Lynn thanks Lucy, saying that she needed that. And the narration Lynn says that she didn't know why, but those words coming from Lucy made she feel so much better. Up to the next page, it is now Lincoln who is narrating his side of how he discovered his feelings for Lynn. He starts by saying that he first approached the truth around the same time, just when he was feeling like a preteen, like he was mature and independent, and he didn't chase after Lynn as much as he used to. But one day, Lynn asked if she could spend the night with him. He wanted to say no at first, but he could never do such a thing to her. Am I losing something here? Like, where's the context for this? He didn't think much about it, but his personal space was becoming an important thing to him in his life, and there she was, trying to challenge it. We have a brief dialogue between the two about how Lincoln doesn't have any balls for a man. Yes, take that as a double meaning joke, but we come back to the narration bit right away, with Lincoln saying that a part of him was happy since it was a long time since they bunked together. I still don't know what that means, which is why he forgot how loud her snoring was, saying that this was what kept him awake during the night. But in the middle of the night, she turned in her sleep, turning Lincoln's world upside down as well. Lincoln says that while Lynn held his chest tight, the only thing he could think of was how pretty she was. He says that he always considered her all beautiful, but never to the point that he would find himself breathless like in that situation. His heart started pounding very, very fast, and he didn't want to move or risking waking her up. What he really wanted was to hug her, a kind of impulse that he never felt around Ronnie Ann. That thought made him uncomfortable, not because of hugging his sibling, that's pretty normal, but because he shouldn't think of his sisters while comparing them to girls he had kissed before. That's the strange part. He then says that he couldn't sleep at all, and he was so confused he did all he could to get her back with Lucy. He then says that from that night on, he became much more aware about his sister's appearance. He also says that he justified it telling for himself that she was just the type of girl he liked. Strong, determined, brave, things like that. This until the day the rules where she filled in for him in a football team. Then it became impossible for Lincoln to ignore on how physically attractive he found his sister. Lynn interrupts her brother narration by saying that it wasn't the first time they changed clothes together, and Lincoln responds by saying that it was the first time since his hormones he got a bone for his sister. Well, I told you this chapter had more content, didn't I? Lynn says that she didn't even realize she was changing in front of him because she was just kicking ass in football. Lincoln proceeds by saying that from that time on, every time she touched him, his heart would beat faster and faster until he was reminded that they are siblings. Blood-related siblings, and that adolescence was playing tricks on him. On the next page, the narration continues on Lincoln describing that on the final day, Lynn sprained her ankle. Lynn says that she remembers those guys playing dirty, and it's such a shame that she never get back on them. Lincoln says that he felt terrible after she was sent to the hospital, to which Lynn says that she remembers he took it worse than her. Lincoln says that he hated himself for it, but she came to his room that same day and changes everything again. We then start a dialogue in that scene. Lynn shows up to Lincoln's in a good mood, saying it's time for the post-game analysis, and asking if he wanted to start with his or her plays in the game. Lynn then notices Lincoln seems upset and assumes it's because they lost the game. She then proceeds to try and comfort him, saying that it happens. You can't win all the games you play. She also offers to help Lincoln to figure a way to get better, so he doesn't lose the next game. But Lincoln says that he couldn't care less about the game, confusing Lynn about why the long face. Lincoln then says that he is sad because she got hurt because of him, for he made her play for him and she got hurt because of that. He continues blaming himself, saying that only if he wasn't the worst player ever, Lynn wouldn't have sprained her ankle. She then cheers Lincoln up, saying that he's wrong about everything. She says that a sprained ankle is nothing to worry about and that he isn't an all bad player, since he managed to run 70 yards without no one stopping him outdoing himself. She tells that sports are all about self-improvement, beating yourself from yesterday and getting better, and Lincoln did that just well. She ends this saying that he shouldn't beat himself over what happened, and that she is proud of her little bro. We then get yet another narration coming from Lincoln, saying that she always did that. She always did her best to make sure he was doing fine, even when she was the one hurt. He continues his monologue saying that he remembers thinking she is caring, attentive when it matters worse, and that's what he wanted from a girl. He admits that this is not a common thing to think. A sister shouldn't shape your preferences in a woman. No shit, Sherlock. But he knew it was true, and he didn't care how strange that sounded. He then says that at the time he still thought about her as his sister, but his feelings would be challenged in the following months. The next page is a collection of happenings of sad past months, Lincoln saying that he felt more than distressed when Lynn pretended to have a boyfriend, Lynn saying that she felt the same about that Santiago girl, and also about a new classmate that Lynn wanted to know about her and why he got so anxious to impress her. Lincoln says that he just wanted her attention, which is why he asked her to do parkour with him. He wanted to look cooler for her
and show
that he could keep up with what she liked. And he also says that he should have realized that this need for attention was bigger than just admiration for an older sister. Lynn also says that she was desperate for his attention, saying that the day Margot eclipsed her at soccer was already a terrible day, but seeing Lincoln get impressed by her was the reason why she lost it. I swear I might be losing something here, like, are these episodes from the show that happened? I never watched it and I don't really plan to do just because of this comic. They again come to the conclusion that they have felt this way for each other, but it was hard to know what were those feelings. The next page seemed to be another resume of an episode of the actual show starring both siblings. It talks about the day Lynn showed around middle school for Lincoln, how it showed him how much of a caring sister and a guardian angel she is. How Lynn's heart got warmed by Lincoln being disposed to fight to protect her. And she also says that there was one day where everything went just clear for her. Lincoln got a guess, asking if it was the jellyfish game day. Lynn confirms it and asks him how does he know. Lincoln then says that it was the same day for him as well. Lynn then proceeds to say that she was thrilled for the game and the fact that he volunteered made her even more happier, describing it as a dream coming true. Lincoln responds by saying that he didn't really volunteer and he didn't felt like going at first, but seeing her so happy made it all worth it. He could even stand her crazy lucky rituals. Lynn then says that one of them, the called Jersey superstition, was actually made up and they didn't need to be under the same jersey at all. Lincoln doubts at first, but then Lynn explains that she was just so excited about the game and his presence there that she couldn't help herself and thought that was a good excuse to be as close as possible to her brother. She begins saying that once they were close to each other, but Lincoln interrupts, saying that he knows he felt it too. He describes it as some kind of magnetism and he thought at the time that it was he being a little kid, more immature than he was willing to admit. He didn't care about the game in first place, but here there was his whole world with him in that jersey. Lynn then says that as crazy as it seems, she wasn't thinking about the game either, just him and the fact that he was there with her. They both say that they don't remember who made the first move, but Lincoln says that when they held hands under the jersey, it was the beginning of something completely new. In the next page, we see a series of thoughts of both siblings in an eternal monologue on why that felt so weird but so good, and if they should be feeling this way to hold hands with a sibling. They also think on how they are happy to be with each other on that moment, regardless having this voice deep inside them saying that this is bad, although I think they should listen to said voice. We then cut to later in the same night and Lynn is leaving the bathroom and saying hi to Lincoln. She just wanted to say thanks and that she had a great time, to which Lincoln says that it's okay. He knows how much it meant for her. But the conversation between them is cut short by their sisters. One of them, who I believe is called Luna, begins by saying that they should get a room. We then get to two other sisters. One of them is saying that they were the game too, but didn't get the sparkly eyes. And the nerd is there as well, and translating what she says to simpler terms, she is saying that Lynn loves Lincoln more than the others. We then get a glimpse at the twins. One of them is saying that it's not a surprise that they like each other and that they should get married already. One of them asks if they can do that, but the previous one said that no, according to mom. Okay, first off, what the hell is this? Who in their right mind says this to your sibling, especially when they're talking with your other sibling? Lynn gets pissed by these comments, rightfully so, and Lincoln tries to escape the situation by saying that he would do the same to all of them, to which they all agree. The next page is yet another sequence of Lincoln and Lynn thoughts. Lincoln is thinking to himself on why is he so bothered by his sisters messing with him earlier. He's thinking that he loves everyone equally, although Lynn is a different kind of love, but not really like that. He proceeds to question what are his feelings for Lynn and why he has been feeling so weird around her lately. He also says that he loves being around her and he feels he can be himself with her and talk about anything, etc. Next page we cut to Lynn thoughts. She's thinking on how Lincoln is everything she wanted for a guy, but would never date him because he is her brother. She wouldn't because she actually can't. She says that if they weren't related, she would probably ask him out. She recognizes how stupid this is, asking herself on how bad she is, where the only boy she would date is her own brother. She also thinks that she shouldn't feel this way, also that she has told Lucy that she went into that romantic, mushy stuff, but she actually is. She likes the dream boat. She dreams about dating, spending time with a boyfriend who's not anyone in particular, but someone thoughtful, caring, a bit of a dork, etc. Basically, someone that's Lincoln but not related to her. But the thing is that both of them have been through so much together, and we get to Lincoln asking himself, what does that even mean? Or better yet, how could this even happen? How could they fall in love with their sibling? The comic ends with a narration from both parts. They say that the moment they figured out their feelings for each other wasn't easy. Lincoln even describes it by saying that he knew it would be a painful ride. Lynn says that there shouldn't have been nothing but heartbreaks and disappointments, and that she tried to convince herself that she could suppress her feelings away. Lincoln says that he thought the same, but it never worked. He also says that those were tough times for him. We finally end this comic with Lincoln saying that it all crashed out on that unforgettable night, giving us yet another cliffhanger for the next chapter.
Identified body number 68. Male. Another John Doe. Its face is beyond recognition. Not because of rot, but because the corpse has an astronaut helmet that seems impossible to remove without ripping its whole cranium off. Autopsy couldn't find a reason of the death, but it's supposed to be mental. Maybe an aneurysm.
Hey, what's that?
What?
There's a piece of paper on its hand.
So?
So that can be a clue to the cause of his death?
Well, what are you waiting for? Check the paper. What does it say?
Rewrite the Stars, Part 3. Video?
What is that even supposed to mean?
The hell am I supposed to know?
We already began this comic in 2018. I think I know this title from somewhere. Ursula begins by saying that they mature early and that she felt like a grown-up at age 15. Lincoln completes by saying that they did their best to keep the situation from escalating, but when it did, nobody would have thought things would go like that. We cut directly into a dialogue between Laurie and Lincoln. Laurie apparently has moved out of the house because she is saying that she can't wait till Friday to see the family again. Lincoln responds that they also miss her, especially Luna, saying that she is excited. Laurie says that this is expected, this is the best night of her life, and Lincoln is basically gonna be there as a freshman. Laurie also says that he grown up so much and that she's proud of him. She also says that Luna told her about how much Lincoln has been helping with their preparations, and she asks him if it has any particular reason why, maybe a girl. She then says that it is hard to think that this handsome teen used to go around the house in his undies. We finally get a glimpse of Lincoln in his 13s, saying to Laurie to not make it weird. He says that there is no reason and no girl. He's just happy for Luna. That's it. Laurie says that she believes him and asks if he has everything ready yet. He responds that Mom asked Lynn and him to go get his suit from the dry cleaner. Laurie then says that he should get going, better not leave it for the last second. Lincoln agrees and say bye to both his sister and her boyfriend Bobby. We then got a series of Lincoln thoughts, talking to himself that he just needs to ask her if she is ready to go to the mall, saying that he had prepared all week for this. Just enjoy some quality time with his older sis. He just needs to focus and not get distracted. But then we got some shots of Lincoln thirsting over his sister until she notices him. I want you to hear it slowly. We get some shots of Lincoln thirsting over his sister. Proceeding to the next page, Lincoln starts some kind of strange conversation, asking what Lynn is doing. She says that she's just practicing some karate and that she's applying for her black belt in June. Lincoln says that this is cool and he is sure that she will kick some asses, probably in a good way. Lynn thanks him and asks what is he doing there. Lincoln then tries to say in a very awkward way what happened since the first page of this chapter and says that they need to go get his suit at the dry cleaner, and that he could wait if she's practicing. We then got a glimpse on Lincoln's thoughts. How can she be so beautiful, even when she's not even saying anything, just staring at him? He finally completes his line of thought, asking if maybe they can go at the mall together. He then says that if she can't, he totally understands it, but Lynn is too occupied with her own thoughts, asking how can he be this cute when he is embarrassed, and if he can't tell what he does to her. She also thinks that he is basically asking her out on a date, and that is basically what she has been waiting for, and this is her last chance. I have no idea on how one can come to such a conclusion. He specifically told you that he is going to get his suit from the dry cleaner. He also said that your mom told that you should go too. How on earth can that be a date? Lynn finally talks, saying that, speaking about Lincoln's suit, she have been meaning to something that we are never gonna know because their mom finally shows up after 2 whole chapters being absent, confronting Lynn on why is her door open while she's working out. Both of them get scared and try to justify themselves instantly. Lynn says that she's just doing some karate forms and she's decent, because she's wearing a sports bra. Lincoln says that it's his fault. He walked in to ask her to go to the mall. The mom then says to Lincoln to wait for his sister downstairs. She then starts to give Lynn a lecture on how they have been over this enough times already, saying that they are teens now and she should know where to draw the lines. She also says that Lynn needs to look after Lincoln, for he is her responsibility as an older sister. She finishes saying that it's time for Lynn to start acting responsibly and do what's best for both of them. Lynn gets sad and proceeds to get ready to leave, saying that she missed her shot. Wait, were you there this whole time? Now downstairs we see the rest of the family and how much they have grown up since the last chapter. We see the twins talking about their preparations, the youngest sister of the family, now old enough to talk, and the older sisters at the table talking about Luna's big day. As soon as they notice Lincoln's presence, Luna asks him if he has everything ready, and another sister asks him if he has a date. One of the twins says that El Diablo would love to go with him if he needs a date to dance. The other one says that they all know that Lincoln likes someone and asks who is it. The nerd then says that even she doesn't have an idea on who could be, and the youngest just asks about a drawing she made. But when Lincoln is saying that her drawing is beautiful, they already figure that he is dodging the questions on his date. But Lynn comes downstairs just in time to save Lincoln from answering those questions, saying that they need to go. The sisters even try to say that they are figuring out who Lincoln's crush is, but Lynn says that the chat will have to wait because right now is Lincoln time. Feeling funny today, aren't we? During the next page, we see a dialogue between the siblings. Lynn is asking Lincoln about that crush thing. Lincoln says that it was just the girls trying to make him admit that he has a crush on someone. Lynn then asks if he has, saying that she's one of the sisters as well. She also says that if he doesn't want to talk about it, it's fine, but Lincoln assures that there's nothing to talk about. He used to have a lot of crushes in middle school, but now he says that he's just tired with setting himself for disappointment. Lynn gets surprised by this, and Lincoln continues saying that he is done crushing for girls that are impossible for him, saying that it only leads to him getting disappointed. Lynn says that this sounds like loser talk to her, and he is no loser. Lincoln says that he might not be a loser, but he's lame. Not really the type of guy that girls would like to date. They never heard of her having a crush on someone. Lynn says that she is too busy being the number one to get in a relationship. Lincoln questions that it has to be someone she's interested in. Lynn says that there might be, but no one asked her out, so they are both going solo. Lincoln ends by saying that they can be alone together, before giving a sad glimpse over the bus window. Now 15 minutes later, already at the mall, we see that they already got Lincoln's suit. Although Lincoln wants to take a look at the comic store, but Lynn seems annoyed for getting dished for some comic books. Lincoln then promises to buy his sister an ice cream, and she lets him go. As soon as Lincoln leaves, we see someone approaching Lynn. It's Polly, an old friend of Lynn. Polly mentions that they haven't seen each other since she left the roller derby team. They trade some compliments, and Lynn proceeds to ask if she's there for some shopping. Polly says that her cousin is graduating high school and she invited her to her prom party. Lynn points out that her family is also gonna be there, for Luna is also graduating and she's gonna play there with her band. Lynn then says that she is at the mall helping Lincoln to get his suit from the dry cleaner. Lynn points out that he is right there at the comic store, saying that he steals into stuff like that. Polly then says that she haven't seen him since he cheered for Lynn on their last tournament, and he changed a lot. Lynn then says that her little bro is growing up, to which Polly agrees. Polly then asks Lynn if Lincoln has a date to dance, for she wouldn't mind giving him a second shot as a partner. Lynn looks with a look of annoyance and lies, saying that he's going with a girl and that he was telling Lynn about her when they came there. Polly accepts this well and leaves the siblings to do their thing, saying that they will see each other on Friday. Before leaving, Polly says to Lynn to not be a stranger and tell Lincoln that she said hi, as we see Lynn with a look of guilt on the background. 20 minutes later, we got a series of Lynn's thoughts feeling guilty. She's saying to herself that Polly could be Lincoln's date, but she took it away from him. He is not her boyfriend. She shouldn't sabotage him like this, calling herself awful. She thinks that she have missed her chance, but he deserves to get his. While Lincoln notices Lynn stopping on the way and asking if she is okay. Lynn hits him, saying that he isn't lame He might not realize it, but he is an amazing guy. She doesn't really know if he has a crush or not. The girl says that he does, but she isn't good at picking up on that stuff. But she does know that if he has, the girl would be thrilled to be his date. Any girl would be. But sometimes they don't know how to approach this stuff, so he shouldn't be afraid to take the first step. Lynn says that she's not the best to talk about love stuff, but he should trust her. He shouldn't be afraid of an impossible love for being disappointed like her. If he really likes a girl, he should go for it, for whoever she is should be lucky to have him. And the sisters would help him as much as they can. They want him to be happy. Lynn says in thoughts that even her, she just wants him to be happy. Her impossible love. Lincoln says in thoughts that he knows she does, but she can't. She wouldn't, not if she knew. And he responds by saying thanks to her, and that this means a lot to him. Now we cut to 3 days later, on Friday evening, the graduation day for Luna. All the family is reunited and getting ready for the night. Lincoln is getting the hair of one of the twins done. The dad is calling Lenny and Lynn to get down, while the mom says that Luna is gonna be happy when she sees them. Pay attention on this part of the panel though. We're going to see something about this very soon. As when Lincoln finishes, the sister hugs him and asks if he's sure he doesn't want her to pretend to be his date. Lincoln refuses, saying that he's okay by himself. The other twin, on the other hand, offers Hobbs, a frog, to go with Lincoln, but that is cut by Lenny coming downstairs and calling Lynn to come as well. And when she does, Lincoln gets speechless. We then get a glimpse of the stars, and narration Lincoln comes to say that the moment he saw Lynn coming downstairs, he knew it had all been in vain. When Lynn asks what he meant, he says that he spent 2 years building walls around his heart, pretending he could stop his feelings from slipping through the cracks. He thought he could will himself out of those feelings, just to her to break all of them. As he stood there, he knew he'd lost the battle against his heart. We then got a full panel showing Lynn and Lincoln's reaction to her as his heart begins to beat like crazy. The sisters then began to compliment Lynn, saying that she is the prettiest when she isn't angry, and asking who's the lucky person. She gets shy and responds by saying that she doesn't need a ponytail to kick their butt. She points to Lincoln and says that she doesn't want to hear a single thing from him, to which he responds by saying that he would never. Narration Lynn comes saying that it was supposed to be Luna's special night, prom night, last concert in high school. Narration Lincoln says that neither of them expected that night to be such a milestone on their relationship. The first part of the night was definitely all about Luna. The moon goes as good as always, and when Luna made the big reveal, Sam said yes. Narration Lynn says that it's fair to say that set the mood, and made she yearned for a significant other, even if she knew she couldn't have the one she wanted. Lincoln says that it didn't help the fact that all of their older siblings were having their dates on their own. Lori and Bobby, Lenny and Gavin, Luan and Benny, all gloating what they lacked. He says that he tried to keep himself distracted with the younger sisters. They were having fun by themselves. Why couldn't he do the same? Lynn says that she saw him. She couldn't really take her eyes out of him, to be honest. Always such a caring brother. She saw him happy and close to the girls. She was having fun, but she wanted it to be with him. In the next page, we see that Lincoln is already tired from dancing, sitting on a bench. That entails Lynn comes along, asking if she can sit next to him. She asks him if he's having fun. He responds by saying that he is, and that he still can't believe Sam and Luna are getting married. Lynn comments on how that was a surprise to all of them, since Luna didn't tell this to anyone. Lincoln says that he's happy for her, and says how nice it must be to have someone special like that. Lynn jokes about Lincoln getting married at 13, but he just says that it would be nice to have someone to share these feelings like these, like everyone around them are doing. But no one asks him out, and he's too weird to ask anyone, so it's him for tonight. Yeah bro, I know this feeling. Lyndon says that she is pretty sure they said they would be alone together, and tells him to take her hand and share these moments. We then get a montage of the two siblings dancing together. That ends with Lynn asking to go outside. Now outside, Lynn says that she was getting tired of the loud music. Lincoln jokes that she should be used to the loudness. Lynn agrees, but she says that she doesn't like it when she wants to have fun and talk to somebody. Lincoln's worried that they might get in trouble for being there, But Lynn says that it's worth the risk. Lincoln agrees and thanks Lynn for this is the most fun he had in such a long time. He thought he wouldn't enjoy it, for being alone and all that stuff. Lynn reassures that that's what she's there for, to make sure he will never be alone. Lincoln recognizes it and says it's good to know he can always count on her. Lynn then remembers their promise of being there for each other no matter what. And it's not only because he is her little brother, he's just a great guy in general, and she loves being with him. She recognizes that he probably would rather have a pretty girl to say this to him, one not related to him, but Lincoln responds by saying that this is okay. He also loves spending time with her. He says that he prefers being there with her than on a random date. He admits that it would be nice to have a girlfriend to be with tonight, but he honestly doesn't feel like he is missing out. He then says that he knows Lynn said that she didn't want to hear a word from him about her look, but she is looking wonderful tonight. Lincoln asks how come she doesn't have a date. He knows he's the reason to, but she surely wouldn't have trouble finding someone. She answers it by saying that no one asked her out for tonight, but some guys have been tried to go out with her before. But she's not desperate to be with someone just because everyone else is. She's waiting for the right guy, even if it's impossible to happen, cause he wouldn't love her the way she loves him. She have just accepted it at this point. Lincoln frowns and starts to recite their promise, asking if this is what they promised to each other. He then asks, what if he messed up? What if he said something stupid and terrible? Would she hate him for it? Lynn denies, saying that she could never hate him. Lincoln asks, what if he said something that he can't take back? Something that he shouldn't say. Lynn says that all of them says and wants things they shouldn't. She herself wants something she shouldn't want, but it makes her so happy and it's so important that she still wants it more than anything. Lincoln keeps asking questions on what if it's something no one would understand, and if no one would ever support her. She then answers saying that she doesn't need anyone's approval, only his. Lincoln says that he had this same scenario as a dream before. He hated waking up every time, but Lynn says that neither of them is waking up this time. This is the real deal. And after a flashback of all the happenings we saw during the previous chapters, they finally do it. They openly say that they love each other. Lincoln says that he doesn't know how it happened, and Lynn says the same. She also asks if he knew about her, but he responds by saying that he didn't. He just thought he was a weirdo. He then says that he thought she would hate him if she ever found out, and Lynn says that she would never. She have loved him for as long as she remembers, but she couldn't risk losing him. But now they both know it. Lincoln then asks if they can. He doesn't specify what, but it's obvious he's talking about a kiss. We then go to another narration bit. Lincoln says that for once he stopped thinking. He stopped worrying. He just listened to his heart. Lynn says the opposite. For once, she thought before acting. Her brain kept telling her that everything about it was wrong, but she didn't mind. She knew they would be better being with someone else, but she wanted to be his one true love. She just wanted to give in. She was ready to risk losing everything and everyone they ever loved. She knew she could handle it. She didn't have any doubts. She knew what she wanted. She knew she wouldn't regret. She was ready to disappoint everyone. She was ready and willing to deal with all the consequences. But notice one thing. She's talking only about herself, not about Lincoln. She realizes it, blocking their kiss on the last second. And the narration continues with her saying that she couldn't be so selfish. She couldn't ruin his life. We cut to a dialogue. Lynn is saying that there's nothing that she would like more than be with him. But they can't. After all, they are siblings. It would destroy their lives. His life. Lincoln tries to propose something, but Lynn cuts it short by saying that it would never work. Lincoln asks, what are they gonna do now? Pretend they don't have any feelings for each other? Lynn responds that she will always love him. She can't pretend she doesn't, but it isn't meant to be. In some other life, they wouldn't be related, and she would be the luckiest girl alive. But for this one, she's just happy to know he loves her too. The next page is both of them going back inside the party. Lincoln is saying sorry for messing it all up. Lynn says that he didn't. She is happy to get this out of her chest. Lynn then says that he ruins their relationship, but Lynn says that he's still her brother. Things don't have to change. Lincoln asks even if they know what they know now, and Lynn responds that they already knew that they couldn't be together. So this changes nothing. Only that they don't have to keep dreaming about confessing and don't have to worry about the other person hating them. They say goodbye as they get inside and go two opposite directions. Lincoln seems numb, even passing by two of his sisters, asking to dance. Lynn tells a lie to Polly, saying that his date for the night dumped him and asking her to go talk to him. Polly says that she will, but asks about Lynn if she is alright. We cut to Lynn asking Laurie if she could drive her home, since she doesn't feel well. Laurie even comments that it's not midnight yet, and just as she was about to joke about Lynn can't keeping up at the party, she notices her sister crying. Lynn says that she is okay. She's just tired. 30 minutes later, we see Polly trying to console Lincoln, saying that she knows it hurts now, but the sooner he manages to move on, the sooner he starts to heal. Lincoln thanks Polly, but he dismisses her, saying that he just needs some space alone. Narration Lincoln then says that just for Lynn to know, he never blamed her. He got caught up in the moment and forgot how the real world was. Narration Lynn responds saying that she wanted to run to him, but she knew it would only lead to pain. She wanted to spare him from it. She thought maybe he could grow out of it and be fine. It wouldn't be the case to her though, but she wanted the best for him. Maybe it just wasn't written at the start. Damn it, she almost said the thing. Narration Lincoln says that he knew the next couple of months would be terrible for him, and he thought he would never get over it. Lynn says that she didn't want to get over it. It would be like getting rid of the most beautiful part of her. Lincoln says that he prayed and prayed for those feelings to go away, for the pain to go away. Lynn says that she thought she spared him from an insurmountable pain of an impossible love. Is that even a word? She had known better. Maybe she could have saved them a lot of tears. Lincoln says that it wasn't her fault. The situation seemed so unfair. They loved each other. Why couldn't they be together? Didn't they deserve happiness just like everyone else? I have a couple of reasons to show you on why you couldn't be together. Lynn says that at least they managed to save face in front of everyone else. They continue to act like siblings and no one noticed a thing. Lincoln says that it's true, but he recalled a bit from the first page of the first chapter. Because of everything that have been through, he knows that what they have is real. He ends this chapter saying that all the good things that came later were a response to the pain they felt. And good things happened not too long after that night, giving us another cliffhanger for the next chapter.
Situation?
A crazy man with no identification is maintaining workers in hostage.
Does he have any demands?
He didn't say anything yet.
Give me the speaker.
Hey, you! What's your name?
Your mom!
Look, I don't want any trouble. And I bet you don't want it as well. So, how about you let the hostages go so we can get a deal with the judge to clear your sentence?
Over my dead body!
I have Aang.
Keep it for yourself.
Look, we can get over this peacefully. What are your demands?
I want the head of the owner of this company on a silver plate!
Okay.
We can't really do that. Anything else?
Repeat, I have Aang.
Shut up.
1 million!
That's a bit much, but I guess we can get
Bitcoin!
We are definitely not doing that.
And you call yourself a negotiator?
You must have some rational demand, man. Come on!
Your mom!
Wait, what? Just...
You know what? Screw it. You're allowed to shoot now.
Jesus Christ! We began this chapter in 2019 with the usual sight of the night sky. Narration Lin began saying that it was almost a whole year when they had their next big development between them, and all because of a secret. Lincoln says that he tries not to think too much about the months that followed their agreement on staying as just siblings. Those weren't great times for him. He made a lot of mistakes, things he deeply regret. Lynn says that it's the same for her. Says that she tried to trick herself into thinking everything was fine, but nothing was fine. Lincoln continues saying that his biggest fear became reality when the family began to drift apart. Laurie was still in college, about to graduate. They could seldom visit her and fare away. Lenny became the full-time manager of the store she worked at. Her, Miguel, and Fiona rented an apartment together, so she left home. Luna married with Sam, left home too. At least they see her often, since her band stayed at town. Lynn says that there were a lot of sudden changes in the house. Suddenly, too much space. Luan got a whole room for herself. Lucy and Lynn moved to Laurie and Lenny's old room. Lincoln also finally got a real room for himself. Ironically enough, it's the same room he and Lynn shared when they were kids. Lynn says that even with less people, it was hard to keep their feelings for each other a secret. Lincoln says that it hurt to be with her, knowing they couldn't love each other the way they wanted to. They tried to keep themselves busy to ease the pain. Lynn doubled down on her training, becoming even more obsessed with being the best player around. Well, I'll be damned, a broken heart really does motivate people after all. Lincoln and his gang started to hang around parties more, and somehow it turns out he could get girls to like him, but it never felt right. He couldn't make it last. Lynn says that still, they weren't exactly avoiding each other. Lincoln says that they couldn't, it hurt, but they were the best thing they had. They just shared a secret. Lynn says that no one knew, though Laurie kept asking weird questions. We got some dialogue on this panel of Laurie saying to Lynn she doesn't need to push herself too hard. She should live a little between her training. She shouldn't let a bad experience ruin her love life. And Lynn just responds by questioning what she meant by bad experience. Lincoln says that it was the same with Lucy. We also get some dialogue on this panel, this time between Lucy and Lincoln. Lucy says that Lincoln had 3 girlfriends in 6 months. Are you making a collection, Sister Fudger? And asking if his heart is so broken that no one could fix it. Lincoln answered that he's just a shitty boyfriend, but Lucy says that she disagrees. Lynn says that they were a mess. Lincoln agrees, but says that they tried their best. They didn't let their feelings ruin the relationship they had, although they might have ruined everything else. We then cut to April in a soccer match. Lincoln comes to scene saying hi to his girlfriend at the time, Dunny. He apologizes, saying that there was a huge line, but he got her soda. Then he thanks him, saying that she thought he forgot about her. Sports aren't really her thing, but it's a lot more fun when they are together. They kiss, and Dunny proceeds to say that she was thinking about going to the mall after the game. She even mentions about a store that sells comic book t-shirts, and that she wanted to buy something as a little present for him. But she got interrupted by Lincoln shouting to Lynn, who's in the middle of the game. We then get a whole page of a montage of Lynn playing soccer and scoring a goal. We are showing Lynn celebrating her goal, and I wanted to pay attention at this woman right here. But then we got to see that Dunny is looking at Lincoln, and as she sees him so happy, she frowns. And when Lincoln finally stops to pay attention to his girlfriend, saying that he would love to go to the mall with her, she's already gone. I refuse to believe that the goal celebration took long enough to her to disappear in the air like that. Lincoln runs to her, intercepting her already at the exit. Then he began saying that all her friends kept telling her not to date him. They've heard things from other girls, but she didn't listen, because they didn't know the Lincoln Loud she fell in love with. Caring, funny, sweet. He's a great guy. She loves being with him, but he never smiles at her the way he does when he is really happy. She has given her all for this thing they have, but if he doesn't feel the same, what's the point? She always have to ask him to go out with her. He's attentive, caring, and super supportive, but he won't kiss her if she doesn't start it. She loves him, but she isn't sure if he loves her the same. Lincoln begins his apologies. He didn't know she felt this way. He says that he is trying to make this work between them, and he is sorry if she feels like he doesn't care enough about her. She's everything a guy could ask for. Smart, funny, beautiful, loving, outgoing. Of course he cares about her. He would never. Dunny cuts him by saying that she knows he cares, but does he love her? Or maybe not yet, but does he think he can love her? She can do better than this. If it's enough for him, then tell her, and she will wait. But if this isn't going to work, tell her and save all the anxiety. It's like it doesn't matter how hard she tries. He never smiles at her from the heart. She just saw him genuinely happy, and she wants that too. Is it wrong that she wants that? She begs to Lincoln to say that he loves her, that they can be happy together. Lincoln even tries to respond, but it falls short. Then he says that she should have seen this coming. Her friends are right. She doesn't know why she thought it would be different with her. Lincoln Loud just isn't capable of loving anyone. Damn, that settled the mood right to the floor, didn't it? Well, luckily I have something for that. Here, a meme, to cheer you up so we can continue to the next page. We then cut to Lynn, at the dresser after winning the game. The girls are talking about how they destroyed the enemy team and how close they are to the trophy, and now thanks to their captain, Lynn. One of the girls suggests that everyone go out together at Gus's, but Lynn refuses, saying that she prefers hitting the gym instead of hanging out with the team's couples. Another of the girls even says that if Lynn didn't repel every guy that comes near her, she would have a date to go to. The girls finalize it by saying that everyone is invited if they wanna go, and that maybe Lynn is so good because she focuses on training while they're hanging around with their assos. Lynn says that they've talked about this before. She's too focused being the best. She's happy about her teammates and their assos, but she can't relate or join. She doesn't have the time to fall in love, or to have a guy waiting for her at the end of every match. She says that as we see Lincoln doing this exact thing. Next page we see Lynn and Lincoln talking about it. Lynn didn't expect Lincoln to be there to wait for her. Lincoln says that he wanted to congratulate her for the win. Lynn says thanks to him for his support, but asks about Danny, saying that she thought they have left together. Lincoln says that he has no idea and that she broke up with him. Lynn gets surprised by this affirmation, saying that she saw her at the crowd. She also asks if Lincoln's okay and proceeds to say that if Danny hurt him, she will, but Lincoln cuts her right there, saying that it wasn't Danny's fault. She was a perfect girlfriend. It was him who hurt her. She was right. She gave her all to this to work, and he thought that this time it would be real, it would be true. But she was right. He doesn't deserve her. She deserves someone who can love her truly, with their full heart, not just part of it. Lynn consoles him by saying that he will find someone who he can truly love with his own heart, someone to be happy with. Lincoln even says that it doesn't matter how much he tries. It doesn't seem to be working. Lynn reassures that it's just a matter of time. But Lincoln snaps, asking what about the meantime? Are they supposed to stay miserable? Has she found someone to be happy with? Should they stay lonely and depressed? What if he can't find someone to love because he already has? Lynn gets upset and tells Lincoln to buzz off. She'll go with the girls to Gus's after all. Lincoln leaves, apologizing to Lynn, saying that he shouldn't have said anything. But right away, someone approaches Lynn, asking if it's a bad time for a talk. Lynn says that if she wants an autograph, go ahead, but she's not really in the mood for a selfie though. We then see that it was the woman at the crowd we saw before. She presented herself as Angela, and she'd like to have a chat with Lynn. We cut to Lincoln at his house, playing something on his PC while talking with his group of friends. He says that they won't have to worry about him missing a raid event. Clyde, and this is the only one there that I know the name of, says that they don't care on how much time he spends online. He's worried about Lincoln ending relationships so quickly. Another friend says that he doesn't even understand how Lincoln managed to mess things up with Danny. She seemed totally in love with him. Another guy says that he warned Lincoln. He was taking things too slowly. She probably got tired of waiting for him to take initiative. Yeah, sure thing, bud. I bet your right arm is stronger than the left one. The girl of the group says that sometimes things just doesn't work out, and tells Lincoln to not blame himself for this. The last friend tries to see things in a good way, saying that this is probably a good moment for him to figure out what he wants in a relationship. I have a guess on that. He probably wants his sister, and how much is he willing to give for it to work? Lincoln says that even he doesn't know what he wants. He thought everything was fine. Maybe the problem is that he's not really ready for a relationship. He then listens to some noises in the house and goes check it out, saying that he will talk to them later. He goes straight to Lynn's room, saying that he has something to tell her. Lynn says that she doesn't want to talk to him, but Lincoln even tries to say that it's about their talk after the game and how sorry he is. But Lynn kept telling him down. She ends by saying that she is gonna work out at the basement and tells him to stay out of it. Lincoln goes for a final confrontation, saying that they can't ignore this. They can pretend, but Link cuts him, saying that the best thing they can do is ignore it. Lincoln holds his tears, or at least it's what it looks like, and goes following Lynn, saying that she knows they can't. In the meanwhile, Lucy gets out of her coffin and goes directly through Lynn's stuff. We get to the next morning. Lincoln is worried about the fact that Lynn is the hall monitor. Clyde even says that she isn't gonna ticket him, given what he's going through. The girl of the group says that he probably should avoid Danny. Being with the cause of his pain isn't gonna do right to him. And the red-haired friend agrees, saying that some distance is needed for their heart to heal. But Lincoln might have some of the worst luck ever, for he ends up stumbling at Danny right away. He even tries to dialogue awkwardly. He says that it's a surprise and that he needed to tell her something. His group leaves, saying that they'll see him in class. Lincoln begins to apologize once again, saying that she was right about everything she said about him. She's a great girl who deserves someone who can love her unconditionally. He thought he could be that guy, but turns out he can't. Then he questions Lincoln if he's not even gonna ask her for a second chance. Their first fight and he already gives up. She looks into his eyes and she sees sadness. She wants to hug him, help him, make him feel better, but she isn't gonna go out of her way to help someone that doesn't want to be helped. He makes so many plans, he has an answer for everything, but when it comes to people, it's like he's clueless, like he's okay with being alone all by himself, and he will be if he's not ready to give it all for anyone. Even then, he's a great guy. It hurts seeing him like this. He deserves to be happy, and she hopes he finds someone he's willing to give his all for. We got to a narration bit. Lincoln says that just like that, a month went by, and neither of them tried to make amends or talk to each other. Not that it matters now, but she was the one avoiding him first, and he didn't know how to react to that. In the end, he decided that there's nothing he could do. Lynn says that that's when he stopped going to her games. He has no idea on how much she missed his support, but was too stubborn to admit it, and couldn't face him that. No one seemed to notice what was going on between them, but it was hard to pretend that it was all good. There's a little dialogue on this part from the two of them. Lynn asking if he's gonna eat his burrito or not, and Lincoln giving it to her. Lincoln continues by saying that she was training extra hours, and when she got home, she spent hours lying on the backyard, not even stretching or warming up. Part of him was mad at her, thinking that it was all because of his feelings. Not understanding her frustrated him. Lynn says that month put their bond to the test the most. Lincoln says that their story could have ended right there, and then Grandpa invited them to spend Memorial Day weekend with him at his camp. A good excuse to get the whole family together. They would leave on Friday, right after school, and be there until Monday night. They could hardly wait to get to the camp and spend some more time with Lori, Luna, Lenny, and Grandpa. Almost all of them were ready. Lynn got late because her training took longer than expected, at least that's what she says. Their mother rushes Lynn to have everything ready in 15, for they are waiting for her for an hour. Meanwhile, Lincoln goes to Lucy, asking if Lynn told her if there's anything going on with her. She responds, questioning why he doesn't ask her himself. Lincoln responds saying that she is the best at figuring out secrets. Lucy even suggests to him to ask Lola to spy on Lynn and figure out what he wants to know, but he's not really interested in having another 5-year debt plan. The youngest then said that he can blackmail Lola, for she has read something on her diary that is very blackmailing. Now, this is something we're gonna see on the next chapter. Keep that in mind. We get to the family getting in their minivan together, ready to go. Lynn calls for Lincoln to sit next to her, and when he is about to ask her to confirm that, the youngest asks to Lynn to sit against the window, but Lynn buys her with a permanent marker, saying that Luna's probably going to sleep the whole trip. Lincoln replies, saying to not encourage her to be a mini Luan, but Lynn says that she needed her busy. She's not having a good day and she needed a quiet trip. Lincoln gets the point, saying that she wanted him so no one could talk to her. She responds saying that she picked him because she needs time to think, and she trusts him. Lincoln accepts this well, saying that he promises not to bother her at all. He hoped they could talk, but he's okay with sharing music if she doesn't mind. He suggests a single that Luna's record sent him that is coming out in a few months, saying that it's super chill, and accept, saying that she could use some chilling. We then get a montage of them, with the lyrics showing on screen. As the panel showed the way they're going. Narration Lincoln says that their arrival at the camp was wonderful. They met again with the family that they didn't get to see that often. Lynn says that with all its defects, their family were always incredibly close and loving. Lincoln continues saying that the first day was pure fun. They spent hours just having fun together, laughing as a family. Lynn completes saying that she won every 3-legged race they played. Lincoln says that she jokes about it, but noticed that she was smiling for the first time in weeks. Lynn recognizes it, saying that for an afternoon, she managed to forget about everything she was going through in her life. She could just focus on simply being happy. Lincoln admits that he couldn't tell what she was going through. Seeing her happy made him believe that maybe things were improving. His own joy blinded him. He should have been able to see beyond her smile. That night, they sang campfire songs. Things couldn't have possibly been better. They were so distracted from the joy of the moment that they didn't realize the internal battle Lynn was struggling with. We then go to a dialogue, with Lenny saying that they should do this more often, and Lynn gives a whole ass monologue saying that this is part of growing up, finding their own paths, and how it sometimes leads to them drifting apart from their loved one. But that doesn't mean they don't love each other. After all, They're all there, as bonded as when they were kids. Lincoln reacts to this coming from Lin with a look of uneasiness, and Luan says that the Lin she knows isn't all deep like that, calling her a Lin poster. It's so stupid, man. She even asks if Lin isn't planning to move out of the house so early. Lin laughs at it, saying that she's just 16. Where would she even go? That was just some stuff she thought about. They shouldn't read too much into it. And then she leaves, saying that she's going to sleep. The youngest even asks if she's going to beat Lin at staying up. Lin says that she can enjoy her little victory, and leaves saying that she's going to see them tomorrow. And the family says their goodbyes to Lin. Time passes. The younger sisters go to their own cabins, and past midnight, Lincoln also says his goodbyes to go get some sleep. And as he is going to his cabin, he is surprised by Lucy. He even finds it odd when Lucy didn't try to scare him on the middle of the night. Lucy begins by saying sorry, and when Lincoln asks what is she apologizing for, she explains that earlier he asked her a question, but she didn't really told him the truth. But now that Lin's not in her cabin, Lucy says that she does know what is happening to Lin, and she thinks he should know too. She should have told him sooner, but she thought Lin wouldn't make a decision without telling Lincoln first. Although she's not really sure about it now, it might be too late. Lin will be mad when she sees that Lucy found this in their room, but she would rather make her mad than losing her. We then cut to Lin, crying as she sits on the shore of the lake. That until Lincoln finds her by herself. Lin is get by surprise, and asks Lincoln what is he doing there. It's late, and he shouldn't be so far away from the camp. Lincoln's face shows unhappiness, and he asks Lin to tell him what's going on with her. Lin responds saying that she just needed just a bit of fresh air. Lincoln says that he's talking about the fact that she have been ignoring him for weeks. He then remembers that in the previous year, they made a promise that things between them wouldn't change a thing at all, and he thinks they made a pretty good job. He knows he messed up after her game, but he thinks that this is bigger than just him. He wants to hear it from Lin. Lincoln once again insists to Lin to tell him what's going on with her. Lin finally opens up to him, saying that she wasn't really fair with him. She apologizes for ignoring him at first. She was a bit scared, and when he started to avoid her too, she didn't know how to apologize to get everything back to normal. She says sorry and explains that out of all people, he knows just how much he means to her. She never meant to make him feel bad or worried. She didn't know what to do, but that's all behind her. It's not because of this that she have been acting weird. She says that she's stressed with school and soccer. Her grades aren't really great and she has to worry about a championship. It has nothing to do with him. Lincoln doesn't really buy it and questions if that's really it. School and soccer. She confirms. He questions if the thing he said about his feelings has nothing to do with her behavior this past few weeks. She denies it. She remembers that they promised their feelings wouldn't get in the way of their relationship as siblings. Lincoln says to cut to the crap and confronts her if she doesn't trust him anymore. He thought they could talk about anything, but why is she so afraid of talking to him? Lin questions what is he talking about. She's not scared of talking to him or anyone else. Lincoln then pulls the paper that Lucy gave him putting an explanation. Turns out there was a flyer of the soccer team LA Galaxy, and Angela was interested in calling Lin to play for them. Lin gets mad and questions Lincoln if he has been through her stuff. Lincoln says that LA Galaxy wants her on the team, and Lin says for him to drop it. Lincoln continues saying that this is expected. She's a great player after all. This is why she have been so distant. Her dream is coming true, being a pro player in California. Lin begins to tear up, asking him to stop, for he doesn't get it. Lincoln continues asking what is there not to get? That she didn't want to tell him that this is her chance to leave him behind? He's still snapping at her, saying that she was planning to leave and only tell them on the last moment.
I will leave all my family behind to follow my dream. No regrets and no second thoughts.
What the fuck? But Lin finally responds saying that she turned them down. Lincoln gets shocked by this and asks what she means by this. It's her dream. It's a once-in-a-lifetime offer. She says that she knows it. She's thought about it so many sleepless nights. She waited her whole life for this chance. Lincoln then questions on why did she turn them down, and she responds that it was for him. Lincoln asks what she meant when she says that she did it for him. Lincoln continues saying that if she takes the offer, she would have to move to the other side of the country. She's not ready for that, and she doesn't think she will ever be. She asks if he thinks she doesn't love him anymore, that she doesn't want to be with him, if he thinks she was avoiding him so she could forget him. She says that she was avoiding him because she thought that he would encourage her to leave him and the family. She thought she could keep this hidden, and no one would ever know she gave up on one of her dreams. All because he is her biggest dream, and being close to him is better than a dream come true without him around. Lincoln says that she can't do that to herself. She put him above her dreams, over her future. Lynn says that she thought about it. He is more important than that. She doesn't want to lose him. Lincoln hugs Lynn from behind and suggests to tell mom and dad. Maybe they could move the whole family. But Lynn says that moving to another state just for her is unrealistic. Lincoln says that he could do it if she wanted. He doesn't want her to give up on her dreams. Just like Lynn doesn't want him to give up on his life over there for her. She thanks him, but she already told them her decision on that same day. Lincoln says sorry. He feels like a jerk for getting mad at her. He was desperate. He thought she would abandon him. It was like his whole world fell apart. But now he feels like he's holding her back. Well, in some quite literal way though. Lynn says that it's not his fault. She's the one that doesn't know when to give up. The one that can't let an impossible dream die. Lincoln asks if she's talking about them, and she confirms. Lincoln says that it's not fair. Why aren't they allowed to be happy? I answered that same question on the previous video. Gotcha. What did they do to deserve this? To deserve what? To not being able to date your sister? Well, I don't know. How about the fact that you're blood related? Lynn says that probably nothing. They didn't choose to be this way. It's just not meant to be. They have to accept it. It's too risky, too dangerous, too weird, not worth risking their lives for. Somehow, this is the closest to a common sense coming from this comic. After some flashbacks of the happenings on the previous chapter, go check, it's on the channel. In the talk that Lincoln had with Danny, we see Lincoln with a face of someone about to make something crazy, and a brief cut to Luna saying that this night needed some tunes, and calling Sam to sing a song they were working on. And with some lyrics on the side of the page, we see Lincoln make some questions on why not. Who says it isn't worth it? Cause he's willing to risk everything for her. Lynn tries to cut this short once more, but Lincoln doesn't stop. He says that they need everything they need to be happy right in front of them. Lynn says that it's impossible, even if they try to make it work. Lincoln tells her to forget about everything for a second and asks her what she feels for him. Lynn says that it doesn't matter what she feels. No one would ever understand. They wouldn't let them be. Lincoln asks who would stop them. The ward? Because he doesn't see anyone there. Just them. Who can tell them that they don't deserve to be happy? That they can't follow their heart? The law, biology, basic morals and ethics that people developed during centuries? Is that enough for you? He says that he still loves her. She still means everything to him. He tried to date other girls, but they just weren't her. If anything, his feelings might have grown even stronger, and he assumes it's the same to her. Wait, is that... Let's go! They finally said the thing! Hell yeah, bro! He says that she have always taught him to be brave, to fight for what he wants. Why should this be any different? They have only caused a lot of pain to each other. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want to keep lying to himself. He doesn't want to live for the world, to comply to other people. He asks if Lynn wants it too. We then get this panel of Luna and Sam. Get out of the way already! Lynn says that of course she wants it. She never wanted anything. A trophy, a championship, more than she wants to be his. He doesn't know how many times she was about to go into his room at midnight and finish what they started last year. But they gotta be careful when they think about this. He knows just as well as she does that if anyone finds out about them, it would be game over. The way he talks about this sounds easy and beautiful, but real life won't be as pretty. She's willing to risk it all for them? Of course, except his future. Lincoln says that he doesn't think that's something she can decide for him. Lynn responds saying that she can. She gotta take care of him. Lincoln says that he isn't a kid anymore. He can make his own choices, and he knows what he wants. Lynn says that this could hurt him, and she doesn't want that. Lincoln says that he's okay with being a little hurt, as long as it's with her. In response that they aren't talking about a bruise, it's the whole world turning its back on him. It could ruin his future. Lincoln says that she gave up on the once-in-a-lifetime chance for him. How is that any different? Lynn asks why does he keeps giving her hope? Why can't she just stand up and leave? Lincoln responds that it's because they have tried doing what everyone else expected of them. Now it's time to be happy. You tried to do what? Having common sense? To not date your sibling? Gosh, what am I asking? This is not even about common sense. This should be instinctual at this point, man. Come on! Lynn warns that there's no coming back if they take this path. Lincoln disagrees. They could go back if they regret their decision, but he loves her too much to ever regret it. Lynn says that she's scared. Lincoln says the same. Lynn asks for forgiveness for rejecting him last year. He says that the only thing he cares about is that she loves him. Lynn says that she does, like he can't even imagine. Lincoln then says that nothing else matters then. Lynn asks him on how can he make everything seem so simple. He answers that it isn't. It's complicated, hard, terrifying, but she picked him over her sports career, then he's willing to risk everything too, just to be with her. He says that he doesn't know how hard this will be or what obstacles they are going to deal with, but as long as there's a part of him in her heart, he'll go to the end of the world with her, because that tiny piece of her heart belongs to him, just as he belongs to her in the heart end, something we are not gonna know, because Lynn interrupts him saying that she's waiting over a year for this. Why are we playing Frank Sinatra over this? Such a waste of good music. They are siblings, darn it. Did you forget about it? Oh, believe me, I wish I had forgotten this. On the next page, we see Lincoln trying to say something, but Lynn interrupts him, telling him to shut up and kiss her again, which they do. After that, we see Lynn saying that this isn't right. Yeah, don't you tell me, Sherlock Holmes. She's the older sister. She's supposed to protect him, but he left her no choice. Now she must show just how much she loves him. She says to him to get ready, for she's never letting him go again. Lincoln says that this is fine, he's hers. Lynn continues saying that this could end up so badly, and asks him to not regret it halfway through. He says that he won't, as long as they are together. He knows they can deal with anything. Lincoln tries to say something to Lynn, but he keeps getting interrupted by Lynn kissing. Can you guys stop? I need to make content here, you know? Lynn says that she knows him too well. She knows what he wants, sets some rules, make plans for this to go well to them. Lincoln responds saying that she's like reading his mind. Lynn continues saying that all of that can wait. First she needs to make up for lost time, and proceeds to take her clothes off. Whoa, wait, stop! What the hell is wrong with you? I'm pretty sure I can't show this on YouTube, so I'm not gonna do it. For those curious about the content on the next page, thank God it's nothing explicit, it's just Lynn calling Lincoln for a swim, and they're having fun. This could be a cute scene of a new couple, but then you remember that they are actually siblings, blood related and all. I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but seriously, I just can't get over it. And I want to make myself clear that I absolutely despise this kind of thing, so no one can get the wrong idea. Anyway, the only important part of the next page is the final panel, so let's go there. It's 1:40 a.m. now, and Lynn asks if this is what it feels like having a boyfriend. Lincoln says that he had a few girlfriends, but it never felt this way. It's gotta be something more. Lynn suggests soulmates, and Lincoln agrees, although he loves hearing her call him boyfriend. But he emphasized that they shouldn't do it in public, and Lynn says to them to talk about how's this gonna work. Lincoln begins by saying that no one can know. It would ruin everything for everyone. Whenever they are not alone, they're just siblings. It's gonna be hard for them to hide how they really feel about each other. Lynn says that they've gotten pretty good at it though. Lincoln agrees, but says that this time the stakes are real. They can't pretend they had a fight if they got caught. They can't let it happen. He can't lose her. Lynn reassures him that he won't, remembering him of their promise. Lincoln laments the fact that he loves her so much but can't really show the love she deserves in public. A day to the movies, holding hands, kissing her after a game. Lynn says that she doesn't know what they deserve, but she knows they have everything they need. I have a suggestion to make about what you deserve though. Narration Lynn says that the rest of their week was dreamlike. All the tension in their relationship had faded away, and they could be happy. Lincoln says that in front of the family, they acted like siblings, having unrestricted fun, which had always been a cornerstone in their relationship. Lynn completes by saying that they had more private moments, and that's why they let out what they had stored up for so long. Lincoln said that maybe for a bit too long. It was hard to hold it back. They even had some reckless moments. I just can't. Look, I don't wanna even know. Matter of fact, I don't wanna have a single idea on what that could possibly mean. I have seen enough of this comic to actually not get surprised by anything anymore. Lynn says to not blame her, for he was her first kiss, and she wanted as many as he could give to her. Lincoln responds that he doesn't blame her. Secretly, he was happy she was breaking the rules for him. He wanted it just as badly, but they managed to keep up the act. We didn't get a little scene of them acting like siblings, you know, like how this should be in the first place, disputing who's gonna sit at the window. Lincoln says that they got home with a secret on their backs that changed their life. Lynn completes, a secret they shared and protected like champs, and just like that, a single weekend changed everything for them forever. Lincoln says that after so many sleepless nights, he found himself staring at the ceiling again, but this time, he didn't need to sleep to feel like he's dreaming. We then got a final scene, with Lynn sneaking into Lincoln's room, calling him lover boy. This is not an important detail. It's just that I felt actual pain reading this line, and I wanted to make sure you guys felt the same. Lincoln even says that they shouldn't, something that we are never gonna know, because Lynn interrupts him, saying that she set his alarm to 5:30 a.m. So she's gonna be gone before anyone wakes up, and finalizes this to saying to him to scoot over, for she wants to cuddle with her boyfriend. Ah! Oh my god. We gotta find a narration. Lynn says that she's tearing up just thinking about how happy she was. Everything she ever wanted, everything she could ever wish for, she had in her arms. Lincoln says that against all odds, they chose to follow their hearts, and they were rewarded with the best time of their lives. And as long as their secret was safe, they were safe too. As long as no one knew, they were happy together. We end this comic with Lynn saying until, giving us another cliffhanger to the next chapter.
Hey man, just here to remember you that Captain told you to clean the bathrooms and... are you okay, dude?
Okay? Do I look okay to you?
Is that a rhetorical question?
They've done it this time. The narrated hero suppressed themselves. I didn't thought that they could do this, but they did. Oh boy, they did.
Are you talking about that series of videos that you're working on? Dude, this can't be that bad.
Easy for you to say. You didn't need to read pages and more pages of...
Jesus Christ.
Indeed.
That's still not really a big of a problem for you to act like you're on the verge of your sanity.
I am on the verge of sanity.
Whatever, dude. Just remember to do your daily chores that the captain gave you, or else you're gonna be in big trouble with him.
I don't feel well today.
Do you want an ibuprofen?
Yes.
Sure thing then. I'll get it to you. I'm gonna be right back.
This is the captain, requesting vulturing presence at my office now.
Oh, no, that's just great. We start this comic in a different way. This time, we are not seeing the night sky. We are in June 2020, in a universe where the you-know-what virus didn't exist apparently. Instead, we are received by narration Lincoln saying that he remembers that day like it was yesterday. He was having the most pleasant dream ever. Cozy, warm, and having happy thoughts. Nothing about it seemed to spell disaster. First thing he did when he woke up was reach with his hand, but he felt nothing, which is a little disappointing. But he reminded himself it was for the best. He turned the alarm off and checked some new texts. Said texts were coming from Luna, telling him about a guy wearing an Ace of V shirt on the Moon Goat show. Lynn responds saying that this is awesome and he will check it out. Luna gets surprised by Lincoln waking up so early and asks what he's up to for today. Lincoln says that he just wanted to get an early start for once. Luna believes him and says her goodbyes, for she is going to bed just now. Narration Lincoln continues by saying that this was a great way to start the day with a lot to look forward. He remembers walking past Lisa, the nerd, after creating a cure for the pandemic in 2 weeks. Oh, that explains. She decided to having more fun instead of stressing herself too much with science, although her definition of fun was anything but. And then there was Lola. She was much less of a brat nowadays, and a lot more friendly and caring. We have a brief conversation between them. Lola says that she smells cologne, and asks Lincoln if he's seeing someone. Lincoln denies, and jokes asking if a guy can just want to smell nice for once. Lola gets it, and proceeds to ask Lincoln to be her +1 on a playdate with Cricket Von Doran. Okay? Lincoln passed the offer, and Lola just says that they would steal all the looks. Narration continues mentioning that Lily and Luan were downstairs. The little sister was getting more and more chaotic, although the prankster seemed to get a little more chill and serious. Just a little. We got a little dialogue between the two sisters as well. Lily is asking Luan what if she adds permanent glue to the feathers. Don't ask me the context, I don't know either. But Luan is saying that this is dangerous. Better to use regular glue, but make it smell very bad. Lincoln gets to the kitchen, and his mom is there with a smile on her face, saying that it was about time he left the shower. Lincoln says that he's leaving to hang out with his friends. She then points out that there's some coffee left on the counter. Narration Lincoln says that their mom always looked after them, Even with 11 kids, she still made sure that all of them get breakfast. He was in a hurry, but it felt good to talk to them. They had the most loving family ever. He says his goodbyes, and as he was about to leave, he's approached by his dad asking if he is going somewhere. He was about to get Lucy to the graveyard and offers Lincoln a ride to wherever he's going. But Lincoln dismisses, saying that he felt like walking today. Narration Lincoln says that with all of them growing older and more responsible, Dad had more help at the restaurant and could manage to spend more time away from work. He made sure to spend more time with his children before they all moved out. He never seemed to get over the empty nest syndrome. Lucy points out that he's wearing clothes for cold weather even if it's a sunny day outside. Narration Lincoln says that Lucy was always observant, always picking on the little details. Lincoln responds saying that he heard it might rain later. Dad points out that he was the second person he has heard this from today, and Lincoln says that this is good. It means he isn't crazy. And when he was about to get a surprise little sister ambushed by Lana, Lincoln interrupts her, saying that he can show up all covered in mud and grass. Instead, he offers a surprise big brother head pat, and Lana accepts this well. Narration Lincoln says that as tall as she presented herself, Lana was a precious girl. Not the most hygienic one though. She loved getting scratches and cuddling with anyone on the couch. As he walked, he checked his feed on Inverse Instagram to see what the rest of the family was up to. Laurie graduated and was working as a golf coach for little kids with Carol. I don't know who's Carol. Lenny kept working at the store. Mrs. Carmichael gave her more responsibilities, and she kept learning how to deal with them and do a better job. And then he had a little inconvenience. It was Clyde, texting him about some new Ori game Stella bought. They would try to see who gets the furthest without dying, and ask him if he wants that Clyde picks him up on his way there. Lincoln dismisses, saying that he has plans. Clyde asks again for it's the weekend. Narration Lincoln says that he would be canceling a lot of plans with the gang lately. He responds to the text saying that he's sorry and promising he's gonna be there next time. Clyde says that no worries and asks if he's doing something in family with his sisters. Oh boy, where do I begin to tell you that? Narration Lincoln says that he told mom he was going out with friends. He needed to be careful and not lie too much. As we see Lincoln approaching Lynn, we see the final text. Lincoln saying that it's kinda like it, a trip they have been planning. As they see each other, Lincoln begins to say that he couldn't hear her leaving, and Lynn asks on how could he? He snores too loud. Lincoln responds with a joking punch on the arm, says to look who's talking. Lynn answers this saying that she have been too soft on him lately. Maybe he needs a reminder of who she is. When they both end this, Lincoln says that now he's hurt. Lynn asks what he wants her to do about it. He responds that he has an idea on a way to make him feel better. He goes for a kiss, but Lynn stops him, saying that the bus is almost there and they don't need to rush, asking if he brought his beanie. He confirms saying thank God he hit it, and telling her that they asked him why he was living like it's winter on a sunny day. Lynn says it's not just for the weather. Besides, it might be raining by the time they come back. Lincoln even comments on how that's what he said to Dad, but it was just an excuse. Lynn says that she read it on the news, but even if it doesn't rain, they come up with something. A few minutes later, they're already on the bus, and both of the siblings are again sharing some music. Lynn asks what he picked, but Lincoln only says that she will love it. As the lyrics are shown to us on screen, she says that he is cheesy and tells him to keep it up, as we get presented to a montage of them going somewhere, with the lyrics on screen. They left at a place called Ferry Station and get on a boat. As it begins to become windy, Lynn says that they should have come there in their bikes. At least they would have some warm-up. Lincoln even jokes about this being too cold for her, but she says that she isn't used to just stand around doing nothing. She's always warmed up. Lincoln then asks what if he helps her with that and hugs Lynn. She calls that smooth, but warns him to not try anything else. Do not attempt her. But Lincoln says that he's only warming his sister on the cold, being a good brother. The fact that you recognize this and still make jokes about it somehow makes this even more disgusting. Lynn says to not worry, since they're almost there, as we see them approaching the Canadian frontier. We then see Lincoln paying a bribe and then complaining that the guy raised the fee again, saying that this is almost a whole week's worth of tips at the restaurant. He's the one accepting the bribe. He should be scared of something that we're never gonna know because Lynn interrupts him, giving him a kiss. We then see that they arrived at Mapleville, and Lynn says that he shouldn't worry about him. Today is all about them. She then asks where should they start. We then get a sequence of panels followed by narration coming from the two parts. Lincoln says that they could never have a real date back in Royal Woods, that's why they have traveled every now and then to other places. Lynn completes, saying that they would go places where they weren't recognized, where they could just be another couple. Lincoln laments that they couldn't take more than one afternoon. Lynn says that they didn't have enough time to do what every couple does. Good, excellent even. That's wonderful really. That would be so gross to even imagine. Lincoln says that they made most of their time together to indulge in their repressed feelings. They played around and had a great time not having to worry about a thing. It wasn't all strictly romantic, more like a chance for them to be authentic about their feelings. This shouldn't be any romantics for God's sake, you're siblings! He says that there was a bit of romance sprinkled in there. It was hard to contain it. I'm not gonna repeat myself after like 2 seconds. They knew their time was limited, so they made the most of every moment to enjoy each other's company, to build memories, and recreate old ones. She would never been happier than she was during their dates. Lincoln agrees, calling her my love. I'm about to crash out. We then cut to a few hours later. Lincoln begins a dialogue, saying that next time it's on him. He wants to buy her stuff too. But Lynn says that he should keep those tips for himself. Lincoln remembers something and comments that a senior girl left her a phone number at the table next with his tip. Lynn jokingly asks if she was pretty. Lincoln responds, saying that she could be a cheerleader. Lynn jokes, saying that she'll have to kill her. Can't take any chances. I can think of someone better for you to kill. Lincoln responds with another joke, saying that she could dress like a cheerleader, to which Lynn denies. I'm either sick in the head, seeing things where there is nothing, or this conversation is gross. Lincoln then pulls another subject, saying that the graduation's coming, and asking Lynn if she's anxious. She says that doesn't care, and Lincoln asks if she already figured out what to do after that. She questions if he's gonna go again with that, but Lincoln says that he knows she's not the gal with the plan, but she's his... Her future is her own too. She says that she tries not to think too much about it. Ever since she signed up with the kangaroos, she's been making some dough, but it isn't enough to pay any rent for an apartment or anything. And the roller derby and hockey teams don't pay nearly as much. Their father says that she should study something, but studying not really her thing, and she never thought about doing it after school. She always thought about making a living out of her sports. Oh, poor girl, thinking she can live of a dream. Don't you dare. Lincoln says that they still have time until he graduates. He can even save some money to move out. Maybe even applying for a scholarship in California or LA. It's just a couple of years. Maybe LA Galaxy will be willing to reconsider hiring her then. Lynn smiles at Lincoln being so determined to help. She calls him an idiot, and after teasing for a kiss, she says how she loves that he's thoughtful, but he shouldn't worry about that. She got over it the moment they had their first kiss. Please don't even remember me of that. I still haven't forgot what that image made to my perception of Frank Sinatra. She doesn't need money or fame to be happy. She just cares about having him there with her in the future. They will figure out everything else once they get there together. Narration Lincoln says that he was always planning in advance, figuring out what to do next, but she taught him how to let himself go. With her, he learned that he doesn't need to know everything in advance to enjoy life to the fullest, especially with her by his side. He says that it's not like she didn't think too much about stuff because she didn't care about plans or consequences. She just knew that after hiding for so long, it felt oh so good to say finally, I love you, and to kiss him and to touch him like she wanted. I'm actually gonna puke. We got to the end of the day and they're getting ready to leave. Lincoln laments that the ferry leaves in an hour, saying that time flies when they're together. Lynn says to him to not worry, for they're gonna have more dates like this, comparing to a soccer game. It sucks when it's over, but she knows it has another one next week. Besides, the wedding makes it the ecstasy of celebrating a goal feels small next to this. And they begin to kiss. Just pull the trigger, bro. They continue kissing, but they are getting more excited about it. She even bites his lips. Pull the damn trigger, coward! Thank God they are interrupted by a Canadian officer, saying that this is a family park and asking what are they doing. My hero! You have no idea what was about to happen. Thank you so much for appearing. They get flabbergasted. Negan says sorry as he says that they are leaving. But the officer notices something. He recognizes Lincoln and asks if he thought they would have forgotten about him. But he will never forget the little kid they banned from their country, the kid who broke their most precious law, the kid who rejected syrup. Kind of you, Mr. Underrated Hero, to put a disclaimer about this being an actual episode of the series. Lynn laughs about it, saying that he told her that he got booted for melting the ice rink. And Lincoln explains that he was trying to avoid that reaction. But the guard begins a discourse about how syrup is their way of life, and how Lincoln mocked their hospitality by rejecting it, yada yada yada. They banned him for 3 years at the beginning of the school year in 2017, and his ban expires only in August 2020, 2 months from now. Lincoln even tries to escape, saying that he's confusing him for somebody else, but he's leaving right now. But the officer says that he won't be leaving there on his own. Lynn tries to intervene, saying that she won't let him arrest Lincoln, and challenging a moose. Girl thinks she can decide if someone gets arrested or not. The officer apologizes. He didn't want it to imply that he will be arrested. He says that it's just too cold, and he will go with them to make sure that they don't catch a cold. He does need to make sure the boy leaves the country though. There's nothing wrong with her, but her boyfriend has denied syrup, so he must make sure he leaves their beautiful home and let his parents know what he's been up to. Oh my god, is this the beginning of the end? Is it? Am I dreaming? We cut to 3 hours later at the Michigan dock. It's raining and the loud parents are waiting for their children. When they see their kids, they immediately rush to them to see if they are okay. And the guard is just yapping about being sorry they had to come in the rain, and Lincoln's ban being extended for more 3 years and blah blah blah. The mom is asking Lincoln what was he doing in Canada out of all places, and did he lie when he told them he would be living with his friends. The dad is just bawling his eyes out, and Lynn is asking to go home as soon as possible. The officer says that he hopes they meet again in better circumstances, but they should respect their wrathful bans and try to teach their boy to control his hormones if they want to make out in a family party. God bless Canada, hero of all nations in the world. Everyone gets shocked with this affirmation. The dad even asks what did he just said, and the guard confirms that he found them making out on a park like they were in a private bedroom. He isn't in position to judge their promiscuity, but there are certain levels of public decency they must abide to, and they don't want to tell them what their boy's hands were doing to his girlfriend's body. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with an immense pleasure that I bring to you the news that they are completely fun! Finally! They're finally caught! After this torture session, we are finally seeing the consequences of this gross relationship. Oh hail Canada! For if it isn't for them, this wouldn't be happening. As we see them getting home, all setty and webby, their sisters immediately confront them what they did. Oh, you will know it. Oh, you will know it. All of them are commenting and asking about how they are in trouble as the couple goes silent to the couch. As soon as the parents enter the house, they demand everyone to go to their rooms and lock their doors. Their sisters even try to insist that they want to hear, but the mother yells, telling them to do what they are told. They all go silently to their rooms right away. The parents get 2 chairs and sit face to face with their children. What's the problem, children? Why the long faces? The father begins with the questions, asking them to be honest. What did they do? But they remain silent. The mother then gets delicious, asking if what the officer said is true. The father continues in denial, saying that he was obviously mistaken. Must have been a misunderstanding. But they remain silent. We can see the utter shock in their parents' faces.
Boring breed. Did you actually thought that you could get away with this? Pathetic. You're making me feel bad, man.
Their parents began to rail them, saying things like how they can't believe it, and saying that this should be some kind of story. They also ask if anyone forced them to do this, and how long has this been going on. The mother asks if one of them is being abused, to which they both respond at the same time that neither of he or she would never do that. The father says that they believe them. They know they'll never do such a thing to each other, but they need an explanation. Lincoln even says that it's nothing to them to worry about, but the parents says that yes it is. He continues saying that they weren't doing anything wrong, and they shouldn't worry. Still, the parents ask why would they do that, to which he responds saying that they wouldn't understand. The mom begins to tear up, begging for them to stop hiding things from them. They love them more than anything. They need to understand. Just tell them what's going on, even promising that they aren't in trouble. Be careful of what you promise, lady. She just wants to make sure their kids are okay. Lynn finally grows a pair of, she tells her mom they love each other. The mother even says that of course they do. They're siblings. But Lynn proceeds to say that it's not like that. It's more like they are in love, and we get a glimpse of the noisy sisters upstairs hearing all the conversation, and I never saw such a face to express my reaction to this comic perfectly. The mom even says that they're mixing up feelings. They're close, best friends even, but that's another kind of love. But Lincoln asks about her being wrong, saying that their lives would be way easier if that was the case. He tried to convince himself that he was just confused, an over-attached little brother. But this is real. They didn't ask to do it. They tried to bury those feelings away. They really did. They went through a lot, being miserable for so long, but they couldn't keep lying to themselves. He really loves her, the way they love each other. Why would you say that? Such a happy moment here, and you're there with your gross talk. I feel sick to my stomach just by reading that last sentence, man. Are you happy now? Lynn completes saying that they know it's not typical, but they weren't misguided or confused. She really loves him more than anything. She would give away everything for him. She kinda did. They tried to keep it a secret because they know what people would think, what their parents would think. But whatever they're thinking, that won't change how they feel for each other. They know this is awkward, but this doesn't have to change anything. They're still them. This doesn't have to change anything. Are you delusional?
Well then, since you said that you can be a couple of siblings now, nothing's gonna change. Be for real, once. The father is obviously in shock and proceeding to ask some pertinent questions. What's that about giving up everything for him? That's a very long story actually, but luckily I made a video about it. Go check. Do they really believe what are they saying they feel? How long has it been this way? The siblings just keep themselves in silence as the father says that they are past being just awkward. Lincoln says that they have always loved each other, but they figured out just how much 4 years ago, and they have been for a few months. The mother questions on how they can say such a thing like it's normal. They can't be a couple. They're siblings. Thank you! She knows they're in a troublesome age with a lot of emotions, but they are not stupid. They both gotta know they can't be a couple. It's illegal, it's immoral, it's sick. Hey, so I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry I called you a deadbeat some videos ago. Go check. And that you are absolutely right too. The siblings then began to brag about what she said. Lincoln asked her to not say that. They're not sick, they're in love. They know it's unexpected. That's just how they feel. They can't ask them to be happy, but asks for them to try to understand. Lynn says that they're not some degenerates. What they feel for each other is as real as their parents feel for each other. Or Laurie and Bobby. Or Sam and Luna. Or Pop-Up and Martel. Who? They can't go around calling people sick for something they didn't choose. The father then corrects, saying that they're not sick, but confused. Lynn never had a boyfriend, and Lincoln always got on and off relationships. They haven't found the right person yet. They think they're in love, but that's just because they didn't find their significant other. Someone not related to them. Someone they could really be in a relationship with. Lincoln snaps, telling them to stop feeling better about this and listening to them. This is not something they haven't thought about. They've tried to feel different for years, but they can't. They're old enough to know what they feel. They're in love, and that's not gonna go away just because they would think they're crazy. The mother says that she believes that they think they're in love, but what they think is gonna happen in the long run. They can't be together. It can't possibly last. Stop it before it's too late. Before they do something they will regret. Just tell her that they haven't been intimate. Why aren't you denying? Why aren't you saying no? Oh dear God.
I'm not gonna narrate this page. Even I have some limits for what I can and cannot do to myself and to you guys. If you are just listening to this video, note that this whole page is just the parents discovering that Lincoln and Lynn got intimate, let's say. The parents proceed to ask, what did they do wrong? How can they fail them like this? All of the present family begins to cry. Lincoln says that they didn't do nothing wrong. And they didn't need, are you f***ing kidding me right now? They're just trying to be themselves and to be happy. But they kept it a secret because no one would understand. No one would support them. Lynn questions if they know how much it hurts to love someone and being made feel like shit for it. They know they can never be happy without feeling guilty. That's why they've been tripping to other towns, to experience what everyone else gets to enjoy. They didn't want to make their friends hate them. They didn't want to make it weird. They didn't want this. They just wanted to feel normal for a day, and they didn't want them to hate them. Yeah, right, grimy or even disgusting shit. Their parents go to hug them. The father says that they could never hate them. They're the most precious thing in their lives. They'll always love them, and there's nothing in the world that could change that. The mother says that they don't want them to feel bad or alone. They just want the best for them and their siblings. Lincoln asks to please not send them away. But the father says that they would never do that. They will still there and work this together. But this thing they're going through has to stop. Both siblings denies it. Lynn says that they can make it work. No one will ever know. They won't mess up again. That's not the freaking problem, damn it. Haven't you got it yet? You are siblings. Whatever the hell you want to make up to justify this won't work. It's not the fact that you got caught, it's the fact that this shouldn't even exist to begin with. Lincoln says that it doesn't affect anyone, promising not to make a big deal out of it. It's like they will never know. But the mother says that this is a lot to take in, and they need time to think this through. But she believes that they fell in love with each other. They've always been close. Almost the same age, that could happen, but they're both growing up. Lynn, in special, is almost an adult now, and part of being an adult is knowing when they have to make hard decisions. They may love each other, but it would never work out. It's only going to cause them trouble and pain. This needs to stop, and it will stop today. The father says that they will be with them every step of the way, get the best adolescent psychologist to help them deal with it. Lincoln even says that they aren't crazy, but the dad says that they won't cure them. They'll help them get over those conflicting emotions. Lynn says that she doesn't want to get over this. She can't. She even insists that they don't understand. They can't just get rid of how they feel. Are you sure? But the mother says sorry, wishing that she knew how to help them. They don't want them to hate them, but their job as parents is to do what they think it's best for them. Father says that they will talk more tomorrow and send them to their rooms to get some rest. They'll figure it out together. As both of them go upstairs in utterly shock, Mother tells them to stay in their room. We then see the sounds of the sisters' steps finally going to their room and slamming their door. Narration Lincoln then says that just like that, everything was over. Nothing would be the same ever again. Lynn says that she would kill for them to spend the night together, to hold each other when they needed it the most, but it couldn't be. She didn't sleep that night, and he wouldn't get any sleep for a long time. Cutting to the next day, we see that the sisters are having an emergency sister meeting, coordinated by Laurie. She announces the issue on the table. Lynn and Lincoln dating, and gives the award to anyone who wants to speak. Lily begins by asking if anyone had noticed anything. She thought he was smiling a lot more after Danny broke up with him. You don't know what's this about? Go check the channel. She got happy for him. She thought he would gotten over her, but if what they say is true, Lena says that she can't believe it. How couldn't she see it? It seems obvious now, but they said they were miserable for years. They trust them enough to say anything. Lena ends by asking if they are bad sisters for not noticing what they were going through. We then see three of the older sisters' thoughts about it. One blaming Lincoln, one blaming Lynn, and one blaming both. Luna says that they aren't the bad siblings there. Lincoln and Lynn are the ones who messed up. That's just another of Lincoln's delusions. Sounds like he thought he could man with the plan a relationship with Lynn. Once he convinces himself of something, he won't listen to reason. Luan says that Lynn was always obsessed with being his favorite sister. Looks like her competitive side got the best of her. She never dated anyone. She saw him as his prize, and convinced him to get to this weird relationship with her. Then he says that both should know better. It sounds like they both thought this through. She doesn't think that any of them pushed the other into anything. They're both to blame. If I can cooperate with anything, I agree to all of them. Aside from the obvious reason, I just hate this couple more than anything. So if you speak ill of them, you are on my good side no matter what. Laura says that they are not there to throw anyone under the bus. What is done is done. They crossed a line. Now they need to figure out how they go from there. Doesn't matter what they think. Both Lincoln and Lynn thinks they fell in love, and they should act based on that. Then he asks what's there to figure out. They can't stay together any longer. I already have a favorite character here. Lena says that she wasn't there last night. They wouldn't give up. This means a lot to them. Lynn says that no one wants to make them feel bad, but it's not up to them. It's not meant to be. They will have to stop, either now or later, when it's worse. Lily says that if they are in love, that would break their hearts. Luan responds saying that this isn't real love, they're just confused. But Lucy gets in the way saying that she's wrong. It's as real as love gets. Shut the hell up. I'm not even mad at Lily. She's the youngest of them all. She's naive. But you should know better. I don't know your age, but I could bet money that you know that this is wrong. For those curious about what she says, here's a resume. She knew they had something more between them. She tried to cast a spell to get rid of their feelings for each other, but it got no result. And she finalizes saying that breaking their relationship would be to break their spirit. She even says that they can proceed however they want, but they should listen to her. How about not? Lordy points out to Lisa saying that she's the smart one and asking what should they do. And she says the most obvious thing. They should intervene and put an end to their relationship. They might hate them for it or even be grateful for them, but that's a small price to pay in order to prevent this situation from being exposed. He must have known a love like this could only end in misery. Now, if you guys remember or watched the last Rewrite the Stars video, you should remember this panel right here. Back then I said that this information would be important in the future. Well, the future is now. We see that Lola is trembling when what seemed to be rage, and as soon as Lisa stopped talking, she blasts out their room in direction to Lincoln's room. The sisters even ask what is she doing and tries to stop her, but it's too late. As she bursts the door open to Lincoln's room, he seemed surprised, but Lola on the other hand is snapping at him asking how could he? Lincoln doesn't even respond to that. Lena tries to bring her sister back to the meeting, but she's going at it with Lincoln, demanding him to look in her eyes when she's talking to him. Lincoln tries to ask what she meant by that, but she continues saying that they had an agreement. 1 boy, 10 girls. They one sacred rule to get along. He was everyone's favorite brother. They loved him different from how they loved each other. And now, how could he fall in love with Lynn? Why would he love her more than them? Lincoln even begins to ask if they think he loves them less. He then begins to say that he doesn't love her more than any of them. They're everything to him. They know this. Both of them are sorry for that. They needed to hide this from them, to lie, to make them deal with their complicated emotions. He loves them all as much as he always loved, and he thinks they know how much he cares about them. Lola says that Lincoln is charming even when he's lying to her face, but Lincoln assures that he isn't lying. His stupid little heart has 10 spaces for every one of them. That's never going to change. Lola says that one of those is a lot bigger than the others, but Lincoln says that one of those is different, but it doesn't make them any less important to him. Lola says that yet he chose her over the rest of them. He shouldn't act like he's innocent, like these are cards he was dealt. Always knew those feelings were there. He knew it was wrong. He knew he shouldn't fall in love with his sibling, and even then he decided to feel them. He chased after the butterflies in his stomach. He stayed up all night fantasizing about a life together, even knowing he shouldn't. But he couldn't bring himself to give up on these feelings, so he chose to fight for her. He chose her. Lincoln tries to say that it's not that simple. She doesn't know what it's like, something that we're never gonna know. Lola continues saying to save the sub-story. She knows exactly how strong those feelings are, how intrusive, tormenting they can be, how much louder the heart screams when you try to ignore it. Lincoln even tries to ask what does that mean, but she continues her monologue. Everyone wants them to get over it. but she knows they won't. They're in love? Fine. She hopes they're happy because they're her siblings and she loves them. But they all make their choices, and he chose his feelings for Lynn. She hopes he is satisfied, that he can sleep at night. She hopes they enjoy every moment they are together making things a couple does. He made his choice. Now deal with the consequences. One boy, 10 girls. They loved him differently. She loved him differently. The deal was for him to love them all the same. But he chose to love Lynn differently. He broke their trust. He broke their family. And in case he didn't realize yet, he broke her heart too. Lincoln finally realizes, having a mental flashback of all the strange things Lola ever said to him since chapter 2. Go Jack! As she leaves in tears, saying that she hopes they're happy. He then proceeds to direct his words to Luan, saying that Lynn didn't treat him as a prize, and she didn't convince him of nothing. As she asked if he could listen to them on the other room, he proceeds speaking. He says that she rejected him twice, saying that it wouldn't work out for them. He convinced her that it wouldn't come down to this. Luna's right, it's all his fault. He was being delusional. Luna even tries to say that she didn't meant it like that. She knows this is hard, but she would never. Something we're never gonna know. Because Lincoln says that they were tired of pretending they weren't in love. They tried to move on, but they couldn't. He thought they could make this work without hurting anyone. He was wrong, and he's sorry. He didn't mean to hurt Lola, or them, or their parents. He didn't mean to break their family. They just wanted to be happy.
Oh, someone can't date his sister. Mwah.
We get to later that night, and all the house is quiet during dinner. You can almost touch the tension if it wasn't the fact that it's not actually real. But the silence is broken when the mother says that they have talked with an adolescent psychologist who helped them to deal with and overcome this situation. Lincoln responds to this, saying that he told them they're not sick. Dude, you can't say a joke like that without warning us first, bro. The father says that they know, and compares this to working through grief. It's a process. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, they just need some assistance to deal with the situation. But Lynn retaliates, saying that this is just a roundabout way of saying they're dumb and they need a doctor to tell them that what they feel is wrong and they are crazy. I mean, if it isn't obvious enough at this point though, the mother denies, saying that he knows how to deal with the strong emotions they feel at this age and learn how they can control it. The father completes, saying that they understand they're not crazy or sick. They might just need help to work through this. And they will. All of them will make sure they have everything that is necessary together. They're all on this together now. Lincoln asks what does he meant by that, and the father directs his words to everyone on the family. No one can know about this. They can't tell this to their best friends or not even someone they're dating. Well, that's a problem. If you count with only my part, I already spread this to more than 1,000 people. Wait, 1,000? Holy shit! And they will reorganize their schedules so nobody stays home alone. Both siblings act undignified with this. Lynn asks if they are supposed to be prisoners now, and Lincoln says that they don't need a babysitter, and asks if they don't trust them anymore. The father tries to reason with them, telling them to stop trying to make them look like the bad guys in the situation. They're just trying to help them. But Lincoln claims that they don't need any help from a psychologist, but the father finally snaps, saying that yes they do. They need them to get over this so their family can be normal again. The siblings seem to get offended by this information and proceeds to leave the table both at once. As they both go to their rooms, the dad says to Lucy to go with Lynn and make sure that she stay with her. Then get a montage followed by narration. Lincoln saying that the next few months were awful. The therapy sessions were exactly like they imagined. The guy wasn't even bad at all, but they didn't need any help. Are you sure? Lynn says that the therapy continued at home. As time went by, they started to understand them, but they still tried to get them right. Lincoln comments that not all of their sisters talk to them, and we see him saying that as he tries to comfort Lola, saying that she is still his baby sister, his princess. But Lola dismisses him, saying that she respects his crush on Lynn, and he should respect her pain and leave her alone. Lynn comments that everyone started to notice that something was up. We also got a dialogue between Lynn and one of her teammates. She's saying that she has been playing passive lately, and asking if everything was alright. Lynn invents something about being worried with college to escape the question. They can continue saying that they were miserable. They could barely talk to each other in private. Everyone kept an eye on them. They saw their pain. He knew it hurt them as well. Lynn completes saying that it hurt everyone in the family. They tried their best, but they would never fully understand. We then get a dialogue between Lily and Lynn. Lily is saying to her that he is nice and cute, but isn't he too much of a doofus? Lynn affirms it, but she says that he's so romantic it's alluring. Lily then asks if he is a good kisser, and Lynn responds asking if she wants to find out. I'm not even gonna comment on this. Lily calls Lynn disgusting, which is correct, but she apologizes right after. To which Lynn responds saying that it's okay. He can continue saying that they changed their status quo. Time flew by and nothing seemed to improve. We also got a dialogue here, but it's just Luna's wishing something for her birthday. Nothing really extraordinary. They are constantly woken up on eggshells. And here we see Lincoln saying that he will live, so Lisa can enjoy her stupid show without acting like he's about to molest her. She even tries to apologize, but it fails miserably. Lyndon says that all things considered, it took them long enough to break quarantine. We see them now together at the attic. Lincoln is saying on how messed up things are now. The family is falling apart. Lola won't talk to him. Lucy keeps an eye on them. Lisa can't deal with the fact she didn't see it coming. Lynn completes saying that their older sisters think they are doomed. Lily doesn't understand. Lena's fearing the family is getting separated, and let alone their parents. Lincoln says that it's all their fault. They thought they could make it work, but they can't. No matter how much they wanted it, it's just not written in the stars. Lynn says that it was so much for their happy ending. It was a nice fantasy while it lasted. For who? Certainly not for me. But now it's time to put the dream scenario to rest. Lincoln asks if she's sure. Lynn says that they knew it would come down to this. They tried their best. They just wanted to be happy. But it's ruining their family. She wishes there was a way to make this work. But the longer they keep this up, the more everyone will suffer. They finalize this saying that they love each other, and then we get a scene of them packing up to leave the house in the middle of the night. But as they were about to leave, they encounter Lily making a midnight snack. She even begins to justify herself, but her face changes as she notices the bags and asks them if they were leaving. Lynn asks Lily to keep her down, but she's becoming desperate, asking if they aren't leaving. Lincoln tells her that they need her to come back to her room and don't wake anyone up, saying that it will be fine. But she says that Laurie promised they wouldn't leave. She told Lisa they could make them happy. She told her she was wrong, that they would go through this. She told Lola she shouldn't be mean to them, that they would hug it out like they always do. Lincoln says that it's now or never and proceeds to live with Lynn, saying that they are sorry for everything. But as he is passing through the door, he's suddenly held back by Lily, asking if that's the last time they'll see each other, not even on their birthday. Lynn tries to say that maybe one day they might try to come back, and she hopes she can forgive them one day because they love her. Lily says that she knows it, and she loves them too, and she wants them to be happy. So even if it breaks her heart, they should go be happy, and she will love them from there. Narration Lynn says that just like that, they left. Lincoln completes saying that they left their house, their family, their lives. Lynn continues saying that they rushed out of Royal Woods. The man with the plan had everything ready for them. Lincoln says that clearly not everything, just some ideas on how to run away and maybe some options of what to do after that. We then get a dialogue between them at a motel. Lincoln says that he only has about $340, but Lynn says that it's okay. She has saving the kangaroo's paydays. That's $4K, damn. Plus some allowance money. That's enough to get them to somewhere, but where? East? West? South? Maybe give California a shot. He said he could get to Collards. That's good for him, right? Lincoln says that this was plan A, but it's been a while, and things got worse. If the cops really give a damn about finding them, a big city would be a problem for them. They're forever relying on everyone in the family respecting their decision. That if they even put on a search for them, can't use their RD cards, can't use a bank, can't even use a credit card. Plan A is bust, and Plan B is off the table too. Too risky, and he's not gonna risk losing her. That means Lynn steps in, saying that they'll go with the Plan C. It wasn't their first option, but it's their best shot, and she's down if he's down. Lincoln says that this is such a big step, and asks how can she be so calm, but she completes saying that she isn't. But she remembers the thing he said to her that night at the camp. Previous chapter, go check. As long as they are together, she knows they can handle anything. They kiss, and Lincoln then says that she is right. He couldn't do it by himself, but if she's with him, he knows they'll be fine. Lynn says that it seems like they are not gonna spend the night there after all. She's gonna make the call. But in the meantime, it might be the time to say their goodbyes. Lincoln then goes to the outside and proceeds to call Clyde. Clyde answers, and Lincoln begins apologizing for waking him up and for being so inactive in Discord and barely hanging out with them out of school. Damn dude, you've been neglecting your homeboys real good, huh? Clyde says that he sounds like he has been crying and asks if he is okay. It's not like him to be wake up at 4 a.m. Lincoln says that he isn't okay. He messed up really bad. This is a code half situation. Clyde got surprised by this. Apparently code hot is a code for running away, and he proceeds to ask him if he's okay, if he's safe, or where is he. Lincoln says that he can't tell him, but the less he knows the better. He apologizes for not being a good friend for Clyde like he was to him. He was his first friend, and always his best friend. He'll never forget him. Clyde questions why is Lincoln sounding like he's saying goodbye, and repeats the question on where is he and how can he help him. Lincoln just asks him to go back to sleep and don't call anyone tonight. Just wait until tomorrow. Tell the guys he's sorry he didn't call and please take care of his sisters. He's leaving because he hurt them and he knows just how much he's gonna hurt them and him more by leaving, but he really needs to do it. He says that he hopes they can all forgive him someday. Clyde asks Lincoln to please stop, to just talk to him. Whatever he did, they can fix it. Clyde's still saying that Lincoln is his buddy. He'll have his back, he promises. And as he calls for Lincoln on the phone, Lincoln throws his phone to the forest. We then get to Lynn saying goodbye to one of her football teammates, Margot, saying that she's sorry and she wished she could tell them more. She also says that there is nothing they can do and asks to take care of everyone. She knows they'll hate her, but she loves them and asks to tell the girls that she's sorry she couldn't take them to the finals, and she's sorry for leaving them like this. She says that she wishes good luck in college to her. She is sure she will do great as she finalizes the call. After this, they both hug. Lynn says that this is it. They cut their ties with everyone they knew and loved. It's just them now. Lynn says that she loves him, and Lincoln responds the same, but they can't stay there for too long. If Margot or Clyde call their parents, they better be as far away as they can, and soon. Lynn agrees and says she's gonna get rid of her phone, but Lincoln says to write down the number. Lynn agrees and completes saying that they will use a public phone, and pray for him to help them. We then get a montage of them on their runaway, while Lincoln speaks on the phone. He explains the situation, saying that they need a big favor and a place to go. He even emphasized that they weren't criminals. Really? Are you sure about that? But they really need to stay low. They need a place to start over, but they don't have much money. And it's embarrassing asking for this, but he's the only one they can trust right now. It would mean a lot to them if he could lend a hand to them, and after that they'll be gone. They just need a place to stay for a bit, while they figure all this out. And he finalizes saying that Angus is their only hope. Now, I know this guy, and I know this castle, and I also know this place. I know the Loud House movie basically. Not because I watched it, I didn't, and I don't intend to, but I got all of this info for YouTube videos basically. I'm not gonna enter in details, but know that they are now in Scotland. When they finally reach the castle, Angus was there waiting for them. They say on how much they have missed him, and how much of a big favor he's doing for them. Now inside, Angus says that both the castle and the crown belongs to him if he wishes. Lincoln dismisses the offer. They're trying to start over with a low profile, and the crown doesn't really suit this idea. Angus accepts as well. He still doesn't know the specifics of their situation, but he needs to know in order to give them proper help. As they finish this small talk, Angus presents Lincoln his new room, and asks Lynn to follow him into hers. But Lincoln says to him to not worry, they don't intend being there for too long, so they would rather not mess two rooms, and she can stay with him on the same bed, since it's big enough according to what he remembered. Angus smirks, and as we see a painting of Lincoln's and Lynn's ancestors at the background, he says that story doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. We then get the final dialogue of Angus, saying that he'll be at the other side of the castle, and the dialogue between the two, parting from Lynn. She says that she can't hear him snoring, and asks if he can't sleep, because he was thinking about Angus's offer. She even jokes about how she could have a Duke boyfriend, but Lincoln says that sooner or later oh my god, they're naked in the same bed!
Okay, fine, I might admit, you're even grosser than I initially thought.
Hey, these two are giving you trauma?
Buzz off, I got this.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
He basically says that their family will come there to look for them sooner or later. Besides, everyone in town knows they're related. Lynn says that she knows. She was kidding. She doesn't like seeing him so sad. He says sorry. He shouldn't feel this. Not with her on his side. But I have lost everything that week. He finalizes saying that it will take time to ease the pain, and healed his wound. We then get a bit of narration coming from Lynn, saying that it took about a week for Angus to get everything they needed to start again, which gave them this much time to have some fun on the castle. Lincoln says that during that time, they wore the smiles they weren't allowed to use during the past month. Lynn completes, saying that Angus finally gave them their new IDs, new fake names. They're legally not related. Even aged her up a few months so she can be a legal adult. We then see their new identities. Lincoln Loud is now Lincoln Loudheart, and Lynn Loud is now Lynn O'Neill Massey. You know, underrated hero is Argentinian, but honestly, I think this choice of names is probably very much in character with the show. Lynn says that they'll never be able to repay him for all he did to them. Lincoln completes, saying that he hopes Angus knows just how much they love him. He even arranged it with a friend of his to let them rent an apartment at a student's housing. Lynn adds that he gave everything they needed to take their first steps into their brand new selves. Lincoln says that it was scary, at least he was scared, and Lynn agrees. But even though they didn't have much, being scared or not knowing if they could make it work, even when they ran away from their family, their home, their country, even if they gave up on their names, they still had the one thing that made it all worth it, their love for each other, as strong as ever. Lincoln completes saying that they couldn't have known all the ups and downs, the joy and the tragedy they would find in their new lives. But like they said at the start of all of this, they're here because of it. For the first time, this doesn't sound like a cliffhanger, but still, we have to be continued to the next chapter that doesn't exist yet.
Dear family, we're sorry for all the pain we've caused you. We never meant for you to get hurt because of us. We know we shouldn't be together, and you're doing what you think is best. But we can't help how we feel, and we feel like we belong together.
So we decided we should leave, so we can be together without forcing you to accept us or to keep standing this thing we have. We are sorry. We love you.
Please, don't try to find us. It could get us in trouble. Tell the police we've been troublemakers.
They will believe you.
Mom and Dad, I'm sorry I've always been a weird son with weird plans.
I'm sorry for being so rough with you all the time.
Lori, I'm sorry I wasn't responsible like you.
I'm sorry I never listened.
Lenny, always keep smiling.
Never let anyone tell you you're too kind.
Luna, I'm sorry my delusions are hurting everyone.
Make sure your music stays true to you.
Luan, make sure everyone keeps smiling.
I'm sorry I made fun of you.
Lucy, I'm sorry your big brother is letting you down.
I love you, Spooky.
Lana, you can keep all my games.
You're the tough one now. Make me proud and keep your sister safe.
Lola, I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I'll never forgive myself.
I'm a terrible sister for not noticing. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Lisa, if you love us, respect our decision. Don't track us, please. We beg you.
I left a bunch of your special sandwiches in my room. Lily, you'll always be my baby sis. I'm sorry I won't see the wonderful girl you grow into.
I'm sorry I tease you, but you're the only one that tried to understand. We are so sorry.
I hope you can forgive us one day. Lincoln.
Link.